Alter Weekly Online League. This is week 13. Week 13. It is Mount Molly, and
I know.
I'm here once again as your host this evening with one of our regular guests here, Chili. Chili, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I've had a great week. No throw-ups from our girls this weekend is a win for our family. And on top of that, I got to see some great games over the weekend for the US qualifiers.
Yeah, we there were definitely some good games. I said we kind of talked off here about my experience. I did not have good games, but definitely once we kind of got those snafus ironed out. Huge shout out to Simon and the crew for tirelessly working to get that situated. Uh, Everything came out to be having some really really good games. Then
Ben, I know, right? Absolutely. And it's cool to see a new
I'm gonna
hero
hop
really take
into
over.
table
Was that it,
6.
table six, was it?
Yeah. Um, yeah, table 6. And then you can keep talking while I'm getting this set up here. Um,
Perfect, no problem. Now, one thing of note, and I saw a lot of commentary online, and at least I want to give you my perspective of what happened. There was a lot of hate, and I'm going to call it hate, being thrown out um, to the team at AWOL and even Equinox. A lot of this was actually an issue within the mainframe that is BGA. Of course, there's things that improvements on that Equinox and BGA can do to link their systems together better. But from an AWOL perspective and the hosts that are running this, there is little we can do. I think the solution that Simon proposed was the most equitable and fair for everyone. Is basically instead of 10 rounds, it's 9 rounds. Um, but I think I wish there was a little bit more love and appreciation for what some of these people are doing that are doing it absolutely free for the community. A complete weekend has been wiped away from their lives
yes,
to make this tournament available for everyone else. And I think I didn't see much love and appreciation for what the guys and the team are doing. And I want to take my hats off, especially I'll say to Cole, Simon, and to Blue, who were basically coordinating it all. And for Simon getting the headaches of trying to work with BGA, trying to work with Equinox to see what can we do, how do we actually make this viable and make it the best kind of experience for everyone that was connecting from all over the world, not just North America. And as we saw, it was won by a Frenchman, not won by anyone in North or South America.
yeah,
And now
it's
I will get off my
again
soapbox.
just a huge shot. That, that solution there, like I said, it was what a pivot to still make the event happen. Was just huge, 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 huge. We've got a Kesha versus Basira here. Our first game of the
I
stream.
know.
Um,
I know. I love Akesha as long as it's not a hostage deck, because hostage decks are rough to watch, rough to play. Fun for a few minutes, but then the fanfare gets over and done with by me. For me,
all right,
we'll see what
Chili,
we've
I'm
got
gonna
here
turn
at
you up.
Basira.
Chat said, you seem kind of low, so I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. I do know that
Okay.
you are, operating with the mic out of your car. Chat, let me know levels as we're coming through here. I'm trying to adjust and work with Chili as well, because again, he's being fantastic, mate. Using his lunch break to come out here and commentate with me here, as we got a lady of the lake unique here from Basira. That's just straight up when played, draw a card.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's great. And this is exactly what Bravos need, is being able to get
you
some
know,
level of card advantage,
come
and
out here,
and matching what was done
here
with the
is what
Baba Yaga.
yeah, lake here from Basira. That's just straight up when played, draw a card.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's
All right, I haven't seen any other comments from chats. I'm assuming we're good. I'm sure one of the
I think so
directors
as
is
well.
watching. Okay. All right. We got the Fire Rabbit coming out here, getting the fleeting, slapping boost out. Oh, is
Nice.
that
And
what's his name? I always forget its name. Pamola. It is a Pamola. I almost never see this card in
it is a
play.
Pavola. And we we almost had the ever elusive double advance by both players, but because of Basira's ability, we got to see Grego get the win and not allow the Baba Yaga to advance, and they are now ahead by one track. This isn't bad. This isn't bad for Basira.
No, not at all. I'm coming through here, just checking chat real quick. Hello, room folk. Argon, hello, hello. Elio, what's up? Chili seemed a little bit choppy. Yeah, like I said, he's got a microphone, like a Bluetooth microphone he's using in his car. So um, he's good as
Yeah,
long
and
as
let
you
me see
guys
if
can
I can.
hear him. We're able to do a Kesha pop in the
I'm gonna
after
see if
you here.
there's.
How's the tournament overall for you guys? I know Room Folk, I know Elio, I know both you played, but Argon and anybody else who's in chat, how's the experience after we got things were worked out after round one? Got magical training here.
Well, Rootfolk made top cut.
Yeah.
So he did pretty well on his deck. I believe he was using Kojo or Vasira, one of the two Bravos players. He'll be able to confirm for us. But let's see. Given my sound is a little bit off, I am going to switch sources to a wired mic, and let me know
Okay.
how that goes. And I'm hoping that will clean things up. You may need to change the levels. Apologies for the team not able to see that. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Elio said he had a great time. It's cool beans. So that is fantastic. Yeah, I wanted to play Linway, but like I said, I pivoted to try to make the deck a little bit better late game. But I just did not have enough reps to be comfortable to run a eight round uh Swiss. So it was I've had a little bit of success with it. I've essentially added the hunger there to add some late game viability. And I've also been having a ton of fun getting closer towards success. Um, Playing with Amarak, the rare Amarak in the deck has been a very lovely addition. Let's see. Agent Potato said, sorry, he was listening to a work call. Chili seems better, still on the soft side, but it's okay. Cole said, I'm still tired. Argon said, I was one of the group 4 survivors. LOL, but it was a ton of fun. Yeah, they have to do an adjustment and make the tournament basically an essentially new tournament as we see it often go here, getting rid of that Lady of the Lake as we are at a clear board here, still with 4 mana apiece on each side. As Chili is trying to get his mic adjusted. Um, I'll wait for him to pop back in here. I know he was trying to adjust from going from what is it, Cardioid. I don't know the official title of it, but going from basically direct to a wide source.
Yes,
We'll see what's
it
going
should
on there.
actually be working a little bit better now, hopefully.
There
There's
we go.
now a full connection.
Yeah, you sound beautiful. You sound absolutely lovely.
Perfect.
My favorite card from my Basira deck that I enjoyed playing all the time, A.W.O.L, put in absolute work for me the entire tournament.
I love a clute. Now, one thing, so I had a Rinku on my podcast, so Hero's Guide to Arthur, a few weeks ago. This episode hasn't been released, but it'll be released shortly. And one of the things he said is when you're playing with, you've got a clute. He says, try not to play it when you are at full resources. Play it later in the game if you can hold off, purely because your opponent will more than likely just go and put one card on the other side, and you don't get the benefit of the double discard, which what it will give you as you play it later in the game. And I thought that was some good insight that he gave us as well.
Oh yeah, I was tying up. How many times I tied up like double uniques in the reserve. I was able to still play hard afterwards as well too. Sometimes he was my only play when I had 4 resources. But I definitely agree with that. I found that it's better when you have a follow up play, not a follow up play, but when you can kind of play something beforehand to then kind of slap him out there. As we've got a unique, is that Belasinka? Oh,
It is a Belasinka. It is
Mark,
one of
talk
the
about
best Belasinkas out there. Wow.
it's a
It gave the occlude effect back. Fantastic. Look at that. Tit for tat happening right there. The other thing that Belasenka does have is if there's more than two cards that are exhausted, they have to discard a card. So it's the it's the Occlude effect as well as the Baku effect in one.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, I'm curious to see if Skybound Odyssey is going to add more cards to see if we're going to start. A lot of TCGs do have like a discard deck, or it's either a combination of discard deck or kind of like a card advantage control deck where you're depleting your opponent's resources as much as possible, just kind of essentially making them top deck way earlier in the game than they normally would. I'm curious to kind of see if that's going to be a viable strat here within Altered. So far, not that way with just the reveals that Equinox have had. But today, yes, today starts the content creator reveals. If you guys are not aware, content creators have been given the okay starting today to start posting their reveals. So trying to
I
get
s-
those spaced out. There's only like 5 a day, so that way there's just a steady stream as opposed to everybody just kind of dumping them all at once. So uh,
Now let me
mine
ask:
will be coming out
did you
later
get
on this week.
one? Oh, nice,
Yes, I
awesome,
did. Yes, video
and
done. It's loaded up. I'm just waiting for the date to come so that way I can just uh, share the link with everybody.
that's right. So today, the
Uh,
five that are meant to be coming out today is Loco Nico, which is Nick, who's my co-host, as well as a guy trying. Myself is meant to come out today. And you know what? Nick and I are going to have to do that this evening. So we'll be coming out today for the US, but for most of our overseas people, we'll be coming out tomorrow. So, oh, that's going
nice,
to be fun.
nice. Gus the Buck says hello, hello, Gus. How are you, buddy? All right.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes, I'm super excited for Skybound, especially with I forgot the name of the robot already. It's an out of faction rare, but it has the when played, you sacrifice a character and you can switch um a target character's expedition. And I'm really excited for that Palindway because now Maw doesn't have to be stuck in companion side. So now I actually have more open viable lanes to play in because it's kind of easy, not easy per se, but it's very it's not difficult to play around, Maul being on the companion side. There's a lot of ways just to counter Maul. But now that card, I can't think of the name of it, but now it gives
Yeah, it's
options for you to be
Farfetch
able to.
2.0.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was.
So Farfetch 2.0
Uh,
coming out. And for those people that are on cast, they can also start going into the BGA app, and new cards are also showing up on there as well. There is some new cards for Lindaway, or actually for Izmir, that are already showing, one of which is called Sea Nymph, the other one of which is called Defect. So they're already available. These new opportunities to see how we're going to go in the future are already out there. It's so exciting. This is the best part of a season in my mind, is looking through the potential changes to decks.
yes, and then I also want to point out here, Kesha using freeze, not a card that I see used often in any of the Ismir decks here. So it's just that it sends a target card character to reserve and then exhaust it. So it's just a little bit better than, not a little bit better, a lot better than off you go. Because sometimes you run into that unfortunate issue where that's your play, but the reserve cost of the character, your opponent still has the mana to play it, but sending it to the reserve and freezing it definitely makes you have to start playing those cards. They're probably going to start getting more love now, where it allows you to play exhausted cards. I think is it Vicky, the engineer for Axiom.
Correct.
I know
Yes.
that's one of the cards that
Vike.
allows you to exhaust it. So yeah, so as long as we start seeing more of these factions start playing or start having access to more exhaustment tools, you can finally start seeing those cards really start to shine.
Absolutely. And I actually love how, I'll say, Axiom is using Vike better than anyone else in terms of their ability to
Mhm.
using, especially if you're playing actually any of the heroes, but more than likely if you're trying to go low to the ground in your approach, Vike is great because anyone that basically wrecks your reserve, it means absolutely nothing.
Yep. And then Korabi, yes, in Alter, not the BJ app, Alter. Altered app, the Altered app. I don't know if Chili said BGA or not, but yeah, the Altered app is what it's where the reveals are happening
Yes,
at.
thanks, Kohlrabi. Look, right, coming in there, clutch, helping make sure I don't make mistakes with what I say. Yes, it is the altered app. The altered app is what I should have referenced.
This is
So
one of the
this is
fastest
this.
vacation games I've ever seen. We are day
Yeah,
seven, and
yeah, I actually love seeing the Akesha that's a little bit more aggressive. Not truly using the after you much at all, which is surprising. And on the Basira side, very much focused on a lot of card draw in their ability because they also had the physical training rare as part of their build, which I know you can use it in Basira, but I don't traditionally see it in the top decks. But Grogo's done a great job so far. And if they can get this single advancement, they will get the win on over Panpoon.
I know that I've been running the rare training just for the card advantage. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like nowadays with I wanted to shore up the Gorang or any of the other matchups that have like the permanents and stuff. I want to make sure that when I see my removal or my target removal that I need to like see them. So I talk about in the cast often about decks having card
Yeah.
velocity. That's just kind of one of those between like resupply and card draws, just making sure you see your answers as early as possible. Especially when we're playing the hunger, because when I need it point in case.
Yeah, and you can see that very interesting though. It's basically delaying what they're going to get out of the hunger by giving the boost to the Hathor. So smart play there to make sure that they can get the most boost available to this hunger. And of course, the hunger is also going to get the fleeting and be gigantic. So very difficult for Akesh to
Mhm.
be able to deal with this with 3 resources. Now, there is a removal that they may have. I just don't think they're going to have it in hand. I believe there's one that costs 3, and we are seeing it right there. Oh, and that is why you use freeze.
Three.
You asked that question earlier before, and you're seeing it right there. Wow.
What
Man,
a
I have
play.
not like you. I've not
What a
seen freeze
play.
being used, but we've been able to see it to perfection, held off at the right moment, and it has been wonderful for him. Jeez.
And I want to iterate. This
Yeah.
is something that I love about Altered. Most CCGs, you get a new set about every 3 months, which means we would have been getting Skybound this month if we've been like other CCGs. The fact there's another
Hmm.
month means that there's times in the season, times in the turn event, that you just get to explore the full card pool. And cards that you normally don't see, you have the time to be able to experiment with and play. And then that's how we start seeing, cards like Freeze pop up. And then we've got Yeti is another card that I don't see often. Granted, it's a unique, but still.
This isn't too bad. It's actually a really good Yeti for what they're trying to do by being able to give a card fleeting and also get the boosts. So let's see what ends up happening here. I think it's going to be very difficult for Basira player to end up winning um, based on no cards in hand, no cards in reserve, but trying to make it as difficult as possible with the boost that they're going to put onto their characters, knowing that there is still another freeze in hand, given the Flamel effect from last day.
Yep. And then again, that hunger play was kind of the serious like ace in a hole is just one of those. And sometimes you just have to do it. Put your opponent on. Hey, you either have what you need to extend this game or it's game over. Unfortunately for Basira, a catcher wind up having to have freeze in hand.
That was a rough one. And we are seeing a double pass, nothing in hand. What?
No,
Panpoon had
no.
2 cards in hand, not willing to do it, not able to use it?
Well, yeah, I remember it was only stopped one. Uh,
Okay.
Player from the reserve.
Wow. Well done,
And so,
Grego, for the win.
yeah. Yep. So, I mean,
That's
they had nothing in hand to be able to follow up and tie that other one with. So, all right.
hey,
Let's get the tournament loading back up and let me find another table to hop into. That was a decent paced game.
that
Um,
wasn't bad at all.
let's see what else.
So that is so. Table 15 is still very early in its progress with only 29%. This is Clem 0533 against Vega Thoris. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we'll head to table 15. Once I get it loaded up, I'll meet you there.
Perfect. So table 15, as it's loading, we are seeing this is why it's so slow. It is a Gulrang against Gulrang. Very, very tough. There is still 15 minutes, just sorry, around 12 minutes remaining in the game time. Um, but the amount of cards available to Vega Thoris, which is your bottom player, is ridiculous. They have got 10 cards in hand, but then on the other side, Clem0533 has got 21 cards in hand. What are we seeing here? What is this game? Absolute insanity when it comes to the amount of cards in hand. You basically have everything to work for. There are no cards to be able to draw upon for a top uh, a top player, a top Gulrang player. Absolute insanity. Jeez. And playing out the message
For a second there, I think there was so much
oh,
party
9 right now with cards.
advantage. It kind of
It's crazy. Let's see. Are you having issues with my audio again? Let's see. Not sure if it's on my end. I have got full reception, so and on
yeah, Chili. Well,
5G,
you keep
so
on describing
hopefully
the action,
everything is
buddy. As soon as
okay.
I keep working to try to get
Uh,
this on in here. Like I see as well too.
let me see if I can.
Yeah. As I say, your mic is cutting out, and I'm also having issues just getting this box open. Oh, figure out what's going on with Chili here. Audio is great. Now it's just cutting in and out. I think this is just gonna be one of those I'll have to back out and kind of hop
Oh,
back into the room with
I am back. Not sure if that was on my end.
as Chili gets sorted.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay? All right. Not sure what's going on. It
I
does
may have
sound
lost some
like
all
I
right.
am on. Nope. Can you hear me at all? Not sure what's going on my end or on
Okay,
yours.
you are
I
on.
oh
I can hear
perfect.
now, so I think it's
Yeah. Yeah, I apologize, team, and also audience for this. I will be bringing. I guess my
yeah,
next
yeah.
path is to do this is just to do it on the computer, and we'll work on it through the computer and the Wi-Fi network, and hope everything works then. But Vega Thoris take the 1-track lead with still ridiculous amounts of 533's hand. Not sure if you can hear me again. Let's have a quick see. What do we have here going? All right. Let's have a So we're now building up that card draw again.
Oh, hey, it finally let me in the room. All right, now we can see what you get to see.
Okay, perfect. So can you hear me again? I was just trying to figure out
Okay.
if it was me or your end this time. So
No, I hear you just fine. I'm trying to figure out like
okay,
I was
we
looking
have
for
a
Ethernet
look
cable.
at this. This is going to be an interesting game in being played here right now. The card advantage is definitely with Clem 0533, but not so much anymore with Messektet coming out and both players now having the double Messektet out and loads of cards to choose from in how they play.
There's actually so many cards. I'm having trouble. Okay, let's get
Yeah,
the
we
framing right.
absolute insanity, right? If you think about it, the amount of cards being played. But that is the way Goreng is currently being played. The archetype is all about card draw.
Again, just talking about those finding your answers when you need them. Yeah, I got to
Mhm.
get as close as I can, and then we'll just we'll go from there. There we go. Okay, that's funny. Had to readjust the whole screen.
Okay, hopefully that all works for you. And we are seeing Vega Thoris really try to play the same game that we're seeing from Clem in that they need to bring up their card advantage the same way that they've got. Ultimately, we are going to be playing with no cards in the draw pile. Eventually, everyone just having everything available to them, and it is what have they brought to the table? Well, that's not bad at all. Getting out the conscription to try to see if they
Mm.
can overcome and win one side. And at this stage, he just really wants to progress to see if they can get the win before it goes to overtime. Look at me bringing some sports analogy there with overtime.
Yeah, this is frozen. Like I'm trying to get them back in there. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so much going on with this deck. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
Now we got blue.
nice.
Holy cow!
I know. Could this be a progression blocker? Do we have a one cost card in hand by Clem to be able to make it so that there is no progression? And we are seeing the Aegis Templar be played out. So stopping progression, getting card draw through the Order Saturni as well. And we are all even going into what will be day 12. Jeez Louise.
2 week
Day
expedition here. I guess
12.
this is what to be expected. We've got double Meskits out.
I know,
I think I remember
absolutely.
reading something. I think it's pronounced Misks, but I am not 100% sure. I'll have to look it up here. Um, I thought it was interesting because I said a lot of Ortis, as everybody knows, Ortis, a lot of Ortis is based off of like Greek mythology. Um, so I remember reading about it, but I don't remember the pronunciation. And now I'm upset at myself because I looked it up so that I would have, you know, a neato fact of the day. And then now I can't remember it.
Yeah, with Mesektet.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
can remember if it's
Mesektet is an yeah. So it's an Egyptian word, and it
right.
was the
That's right.
actual the bark, the boat that
Mhm.
the Ra used to use, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Um, so you had Mesektet, and then just in terms of the lore of this game, there is another barge. This is one that they were able to reconstruct. The other one is still I think it's missing because there is actually two barges that the orders do have.
All right. So yeah. So you keep up with lore then too, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Well, that's part of my shtick is the lore. I absolutely love it. Um, but and the cool thing is, it doesn't detract from the game state. The game itself plays very much in line with how the lore
Yeah,
depicts these characters. And a good example is the card Loki. Loki is meant to be the original way that they were looking at Loki. It didn't mess with the board enough, so then they changed the dynamics of the board to make it more like what Loki would do in real life.
the
And
trickster.
when we
That's
were talking, so yeah, more the trickster, getting that chance. Hey, I'm going to shuffle your cards, get rid of your cards in your resupply, get rid of everything really.
right.
And I would
Uh,
say, if Loki was available in this game that we're watching right now, it would absolutely make the game state so different because the amount of
uh,
cards in hand is ridiculous.
asking, do we know what causes the card draw?
What causes the
Mm,
card draw here?
yeah.
Absolutely no idea. This is absolute insanity. Oh,
Alexis
okay.
withdrawal might start making changes here. I've never seen so many cards on the screen here. The fact that this
It's
game is still
absolutely
running absolutely boggles my mind.
yeah. And we are down though to basically 2 minutes of time. That is an insane use of conscription. Getting five of them out. Is this going to be a double progression? There is a huge chance for the double progression. I do query why you would get rid of the Mesectet. The only reason I'm querying it is they will draw it up next turn and you'll get the same benefit, but yes, you do use 4 resources.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm with you. Karabi and Agent Potato,
Oh,
it has been a
geez.
as well. So playing another conscription. Um, it's just like I said, as you can imagine, it's just so hard to keep up with stuff right now. So I'm guessing it was a unique that it caused the card draw. Look at these. They look like pieces of silver now, about the width of a piece of a silver. Uh, this is
That's
insane.
insane. But it looks like it will become game over. Just shortly, we will see. I do not see Vegathaurus being able to come back from 2020 on each side. Um, and I also didn't get a chance to see any uniques from Clem either. So not sure what uniques were there, but with the amount of cards they had in hand, potentially not needed to be brought out. What a crazy game. Well done to both. Though it was, imagine playing against that would feel so awful, so awful. But good games going round all around. It looks like we may be getting close to round 2 start.
Yeah. And I would like to point out here that we had a Gorain mirror that finished on time.
I know, right? With
Just putting that out
ridiculousness there.
there. Just putting that out
Yeah.
there that the Gorain mirror finished on time. Um, so yeah, so since we are talking about lore, how do we feel about? And it's like over a week or some half old. So, you guys, it's on you if you haven't read the stuff. So, how do we feel about the revelation that Bravos is the bad guys?
When you're talking Bravos, we're talking the whole faction, or are we talking the king, the old king? Because if you look at
At
Kojo's
least that's
lore,
my
okay, you know
interpretation.
what? Usually the most overpowered do take over. Um, that's surprising to me. Like I get where the angle comes from. I I honestly look
Yeah.
in lore where I think it'd be cool if there were the infiltration element of it is really cool. Like, hey, we're part of you, but we're actually
Hmm.
trying to play against you. But I don't think it's the faction as a whole, because they're all trying to do something good, but within the good there is some bad. The same thing, Linda Way, right? Linda Way, you wouldn't see her as
Yeah.
someone bad, but because she's working alongside more gives you that element of that entity is in it for themselves, not for everyone else. And Linda Way is kind
I
of
would say
like saying, well,
working is a strong word.
yeah, but I'll also with Linda Way, well, she has to. She's got the choice of basically, do I want to be blind again? If I want to be
Right.
blind again, then I can't work with you. Um, and
Yeah.
and it's a hard decision. Imagine not being able to see basically your whole life, to get glimpses of color, get glimpses of shadows, and then to know the only thing that will be able to keep it is being bound with this entity that is evil. I don't know. I
You're
don't know
like a
your
puppet,
thoughts.
literally. Yeah.
Absolutely, but you're also getting a benefit, right? Now, I want to see what are your thoughts on Bravos potentially, and I'm going to say potentially being the bad guys. And while we're doing that,
We're gonna
which
head
table
to
would you
table.
like to go to?
Uh, yeah, table two. And then once I get that set up, I will go into that as well too. One,
Yeah,
I love like these lore pieces, beautifully written.
yeah. I had a chance
As somebody who had
designer.
to take classes in
Sorry,
creative writing,
you
um, this
had a
lore
chance to reach out to Yoshi?
is incredible. Incredible.
Uh-oh, did I lose you again?
It all on me. All right, the room has loaded. Let's get to some footage here while we figure out what happened to Chili.
Hopefully, I am back as we watch this mirror
Yeah,
now.
I
So
enjoy Trace.
I'd like to,
Um,
yeah, trace mirrors are good, but it really does become who is the first person to get their triggers up. And it
okay,
does look like
but
we
back
may have
before we
two
had got,
different kinds of build. Yes.
yeah, and as we were learning what was going on, so it's very interesting because it's almost like it's a double agent angle, and I don't know, until we this, because like for all my Harry Potter fans, we had the same deal going on with like Snape. It was just like, yeah, we knew
Hmm.
something was up with you. And then, but then, like by the time you hit the end of the series, it's just like, okay, Snape legitimately was a, a good person trying to do the right things. And I think about MHA for my anime fans, the same deal with Hawks as well too. So I thought
Hmm.
it's just a bit early to tell. I do love that of all the people, Waru's just like, all right, I hear you out, and like we can't let this go because if it
Now
comes
let's
out
go
to tell
on.
everybody we've lost, everything else we've been doing has been for naught. It does not exist. Again, we're talking about tanking morale. We're talking about we're talking about just a lot of stuff, resources like that would just be, um, just debilitating. So it's just kind of like, okay, I understand what's going on here, but on the other hand, like let's just see where this goes right now.
Yeah, and
And
I love
Kojo
this.
just
Yeah, I love the Snape angle that you gave. And look at us talking about Harry Potter here. Because there's this element of are they doing something good for bad for good? Like what is perceived as bad for good. There's also the whole discussion with Waru himself, right? Waru came into
mm,
being part of the expedition purely because people didn't want Avken to basically have his way. He was meant to be the opposition, but they had dealings in the background that they were best friends, that they wanted this to go through for themselves to stop all these factions. They needed that, they felt that it was required, but had to play a different role for a while. And so there's so much intricacy in the storytelling that is coming out on the cards, and that is coming out in the game state. Which is really fascinating to see. I'm actually, you know what's one thing surprising? I'll bring it back to the game for a second. Is we just saw
mhm,
Gulrang and the mirror, and that felt like it was
yeah.
fast. We're now seeing a trace mirror that feels really slow. So
Yeah.
they're barely
We're like
progressing
day
on
3, and
day
they've
three.
only maybe advanced a zone or two. It's
I know.
like
So topsy turvy world after we had Fen win the US qualifiers on, sorry, let me call it again, the Americas qualifier. I know some people call it the North America. I call it the Americas because we had representation from all
yeah,
over.
one or two. It's like
So funny. Yeah,
Oh,
unique,
hey.
unique daughter of Yggdrasil.
I have a very similar unique, I think, to this as well, too, except it's from reserve that my opponent gets to draw. Same deal in Axiom as well, too. Let's see the bug out bag doing its work.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to have because you the sabotage effect is from reserve, but you need to have two landmarks, and this trace doesn't have any landmarks yet available to them. The same thing with the with getting the Grems out, not able to get the benefit of having the landmark impact the game.
Yeah, which is rather unfortunate because that's what the Grims are. Grims are out there to do.
Hmm. Now, do you play Axiom at all in any of your builds?
I have been dabbling. So, of course, with the announcement of Worlds, and they were talking about doing the I call it triple constructed. I know that's not the real name for it. But about the three decks deal. So I was looking at that because I was figuring out the most, probably the most possible answer to that is just having an ultra aggressive deck that doesn't care what your opponent's doing. Having a mid range deck and then having a control, a late game deck. So that's when I started experimenting with Axiom. I have a trace deck that's built, um, and so I've started
Super
experimenting
aggressive.
with them in net decking, and I'm just like, yes, this is like I'm burning through cards, finding what I need, and like it just seems like when Trace hits his cylinders, just like you blink, it's usually like day 5, and I'm like, okay, I can go forward, win the game here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Conquest, thank you,
So
thank you.
I think
That says
conquest is the
yeah.
format. Absolutely. Now, so I had my tumult over the weekend, which is why I didn't participate in the qualifiers. Though I did
Mm-hmm.
cast on the for the quarterfinals on Sunday, but I my final. So I managed to make it to the final, and I'm playing Sigismar. And as much as people talk about Sigismar, he's not as strong as he once was, or people know how to play against them. But I played against a Trace in the final, um, and I managed to actually store their trigger to basically the second last day. And even though they were ahead, I won because they did not get what they wanted. I sabotaged, sabotage after rest being the best dynamic in my mind in the game,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're playing against Traced. Their ability of exhausting through Jack Frost as well meant they couldn't use what they wanted, and they were constantly having to eliminate or remove cards from their deck, per se. But I got the win. I got the lucky win. So I am now 3-0, undefeated in tumults from season 1 and season 2 that I've participated in. So I feel very, very grateful for that. So hopefully
Hey,
you got a chance. Did you get a chance to play any
I did not. Like I said, that store that I was having one is not running one.
Oh,
Or did if they it yet. So it's it's okay. Because again, I don't have my cards because constantly the decks change. Because I have to again with no
mm,
locals rely on print on demand services. So as you could imagine, it takes a while there. That's why I've just kind of been master setting the faction, so that way I can eventually, I can just
yeah,
pull the cards that I will need. So that's why I'm starting with
nice.
Izmir first, so that way, master setting everything. So when I do hopefully get more opportunities to play in person, I kind of have all my cards. Gus said that why is it Chili doing radio? He has a radio voice, and I will say I agree too. Chili is someone who has trained in radio broadcasting. Um, so I have a
I am
certificate.
not. That'd be so
Great
funny. It'd
radio.
be great if I was. But I do work in my day job as a consultant, as a leadership development coach. So I work with leaders around the world, mostly in heavy industry, to basically become better leaders. And part of that is how to speak to your people, how to inspire your people, how to actually
Mhm.
come across with a simple message so that it is better understood. So I appreciate it. The other thing, I think people pay attention to my voice a little bit more because it's Australian, right? So it's not your day in, day out accent you traditionally hear. And I absolutely take advantage of that. When we go to restaurants, my wife thinks I'm flirting with the world, and I am not. It's just my accent. So
Right.
the I appreciate it. I would love, like, what? If job, you and I and the rest of AWOL and other people around the world that are doing this for this great game, wouldn't that be something?
Right?
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
special? And
It's
I'll also say hats off to Gus and all the other guys. You are all great. Everyone brings a different take on it. That is part of AWOL. We are very lucky with those that are casting.
right. Yeah. Argan said, yeah, this works with my South African accent as well too. Yes, say yes. The accent is a boost, and so I agree as well too. Because here in America, we were taught that the Midwestern accent, which is what I'm going to use right now, that is what's deemed as the professional accent. Because unfortunately, in our country here, people seem to equate accents with intelligence. Like I originally grew up in the deep South, so I have a heavy drawl that comes out. Either if I'm tired or the more that I keep talking, and I don't mindfully suppress it. And I've been doing it so long for so many years just because that's just kind of an ignorant state of things that they just think that, oh, okay, if you have a heavy, accent, a southern accent or something like that, that means that you're low intelligence, which of course is furthest from the truth. And that's just how people see things. So, like, I enjoy hearing the different accents come through from other countries because it just seems like all other countries encourage everybody to speak in their native accent. And then here in America is just like, no, this is the one that's perfect for radio, for video presentations and things like that. So it is what it
It's true.
is.
Yeah, look, I every time I hear the Southern accent, my mind automatically goes to Forrest Gump. Uh, Good or badly, or whatever you may take it, but I like for me, it's cool. And the ladies when they speak the Southern, it's a Southern Belle accent. I'm like, that's so beautiful. But for me, I think the nicest accent to hear, the one that perks me up to listen, is the British accent. Um, I don't know why, but it does it to me. Oh,
Yeah, I
look at
think
this! Kraken
that
17 is bringing out the like. Dang it! What happened right now? What is going on? What is going on here for him? They used an expletive that I won't put on here, but you could tell the Frenchman just coming out naturally. Okay, we do have a double progression though.
it
Kraken,
said
look,
something
I
about
don't know what they're going.
WCW.
Kraken's going well.
Yeah. It said something about the
Oh.
WCQ. I'm guessing maybe this scenario popped up again, during that time frame or something. That's the only thing I got out of that was WCQ, but um,
Yeah, probably
because
maybe reminiscing. And we feel for those players that weren't able to play the first round or that got kicked out. I just wish that like
yeah,
there is nothing we could do um, at that time. And I know we're working with BGA to be able to find a better solution when something like this happens, more control for the tournament organizer. But it is not something that's open to us quite just yet. Um, and
right, right. I
no
think
other
unfortunately there's not
game
going
on
to be.
BGA is yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any other solution until this round, this last WCQ is done. Because it's just going to be hard to try to implement hot fixes, which I think, and one of the other casters brought this up as well too. I think and again, it's an API calling issue because sometimes I have to refresh my page even when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm just playing, random
Mm.
casual games. Where sometimes I have to refresh it in order to pull my deck up. So I think if somehow they're able to implement you being able to lock a deck in before the tournament starts, I think that significantly reducing the amount of calls that needs to be made through the API, to Equinox's website, things like that, they probably will hopefully solve or potentially alleviate that issue.
That's a fantastic enhancement we could have is select your deck before the tournament. You don't, and then you just progress through the tournament. There is no changing it. I love that. I love it. I hope that becomes reality at some point in the future. And we are now seeing
All right, as we got
ACC
another Haven
finally get
minute.
out, finally get the Haven out, and they do need something pretty much quick smart, or they will not. They will not have a hope into another day.
Yeah. One of the most stat efficient characters in the game, the Keelan Elemental coming out here. Um, so we just see a Baku staring us in the face down here. Being able to slap
It's
boost
a
out.
great Baku.
Uh, oh man, this
That
is
is a great Baku, but it won't help this day because they got no cards in hand. Right.
yeah. I
Wow.
think this
It
is
is a nice Baku though.
Yeah, the Baku's getting shouted out in chat right now. I did just see Baku again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not able to translate the French, but I do see it there. So we've got Amelia Earhart coming out to play here. Still quite a bit of mana. Like I said, ACZ is all out in the open though. Everything they can play is all in their reserve.
Mm-hmm.
But again, unless we are going to hook this Dr. Frankenstein, oh, never mind. There's an Axiom Salvager for one that can just hop on over there and go ahead and secure the win themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. This was a really tough going for ACC. Fantastic work by Kraken 17. Really managing their resources in a way that was incredibly strong. Um, and we saw that, and we see here even more strength there to see if they can get a one for one, but still gets the win. Congratulations, GG is going out to ACC for the win again. Sorry, for Kraken for the win. Well done.
Yeah, as we
Now,
see here, day six. We had Trace Miller go to day six.
that doesn't happen
All
very often,
right,
right?
I'm going to
It's
switch
usually a
over
very
and
quick win.
yeah, all right. I'm going to see if
Now,
I
at
can
the end
hop
of this
out of here
round, though,
before I get caught up in the mix.
few
What's up there,
tables that
Chili?
are there's a few tables that are still progressing quite a fair bit behind. Table 3 being one that is still got a lot of progress left. Not sure if you want to go see table 3.
Yeah, we'll hop there. We'll hop there. I've clicked on it now. It's already let me go to the game fairly instantly. It's just loading this box up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hopefully,
Seems to
and
have
we
been an
do
issue
have
today, and I
some.
don't know if it's
Look
on
at
my
this.
end or not.
And what is insane is we've got a Katagaran Mage Dancer at 888, 7 boosts. So and that is insane. Look at this. No, people are saying Afanis is dead, and we're seeing someone play Afanis. Well done, Takeo Chan, for taking a risk. Oh my word! An 888 and a 777. Actually, make that 999 and an 888 Mage Dancer coming out. Actually, they're both now 999. Look at all the boosts just coming out of nowhere. Wow. I think Afanis might end up taking this. Fantastic. I'm hoping on your end. All right, let's see if we are back. Hello,
Coming
can you hear me?
back here, maybe.
All right, look at your back. We're back again. Here we go.
All right, there we are. Okay.
Yeah, not sure what's happening. I keep being kicked out of our audio link through Video Ninja. So, but that's okay. These This is insane. What's happening? Did you get to see last day with so many boosts on the mage dancers?
I did not. I did not. I came in pretty much at this day here as clearing the dusk. Dusk into
Okay.
night is where I was finally able to get loaded
Yeah.
here.
So Takeo Chan basically had boosts up to two of them at 999, which was insane. They would have won the day had the energy bar Sakurabu not come out, but it did. And we are going to see
Mm,
what ends up happening on this day because I think it's going to be very difficult uh, for our Afanis player, but they have exceeded expectations from what I've seen at the back end of this game right now. The hunger, while it's useful to play out, I don't know if it makes too much of a difference against Afanis in the way that they play. Given they also have 10 cards in
yeah,
hand, they can really slow play very much so.
yeah, and they just play so many low cost, down to the ground units that even if everything's cleared, a lot of times Bonds maybe just has just enough to
Hmm.
get it back going again. Plus, we don't know if this Afonis is playing freeze or not either, which we have seen as a clean answer to the hunger as well.
Absolutely. And we're already seeing here that the card advantage, oh, bringing out the mighty Jin, but just at the common, don't get to see that very often. I traditionally see that at the rare or the draw card effect, and then the follow up removal. Interesting.
All right, so my screen is froze. I didn't see that. I'm glad you did say that because it was just showing that I'm just waiting for the Atsadi player to make a play. So fresh here
Technical
and
issues
see
on that
what's up.
side. Um, yeah, Swift Jin was played a unique one, but it was fully played out for 6 resources, 775. If your reserve is empty, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone. And then when played from reserve, you may discard target character with hand costs 4 or more. I don't think that effect is going to take play today because I don't think a finest player ever truly plays anything for 4 or more costs. Wow. Lots and lots of power here. And oh, there we go.
Not that I can
They're
think
putting to sleep the
it's beauty sleep.
you can't see it right now, but Swift Beauty Sleep, Swift Jin being put to sleep. I think that is endgame in what we are going through here. One resource for a Achadi, not enough to be able to make a dent. And we are seeing Afanis come back with a new
Second.
style of gameplay. Well done. Wow.
So once again, for the second week in a row, Jess has been proven to show that it's just a skill issue as a Faunus. So again, we see another Faunus
Yeah.
on stream during AWOL Weekly. Love you
Yeah.
guys, but
Well, congratulations to Take a Chow. Commiserations to Mugus. You did well. Unfortunately, the amount of boosts on those mage dances really made a difference. It's been fun working with you today, serving in this fun calling for our friends over in Europe predominantly. I will need to head back to work, but I know we're going to have a special guest joining you shortly in Bravos, the Mark the Bravos Hatter, who is going to be taking over my duties as your co-chair.
yep, I will be working there for them to finish resolving their stuff there. I'm gonna go ahead and get us swapped over so that I can get his stuff ready, and then
Once again,
that way
thank
he
you
can
so
join
much for
in.
having me. For
Oh,
those that are
Chili is
listening
always
in, thank you. Listening in, my reveal and Nick's reveal for the new set will happen overnight for the French and other European players. For the Americans, it will be this evening. You should be able to receive something in our YouTube channel.
yes, definitely looking forward to that. It's the official start of the reveal season.
That's right. All right, buddy. Enjoy. Good luck to all the players and all people watching. Enjoy the cast. See ya.
See you, buddy. All right, let's see what we can muster up here. If we're just going to need to wait till the end of the round, or if we've got another game we can try to hop into. Double checking my network connection. Yeah, no, I've got 173 down and 60 plus up. So that's not the network issues here. Looks like we've got a few tables that are left here. Let's head to table 33. Let's go see what room folks up to down here and adopt a meeple. See what these two players are up to here. Also give Bravo Saturday time to get in here. Or if I can get into this room at all. There we go. Let's see what's happening here. Antonio says, and I think the developers will push a different style of play, the new dragon or whatever it is. Oh yeah, yeah, the Leviathans. Yeah, this won't be the scene. I think like three of the Leviathans revealed already. I think it's Hua. Um, oh, armored bird. It's the armored bird one. Uh, um, getting the spotlight here. Is there Bravos Hatter? Hey, hey, buddy, go ahead and hop on in
Hello,
whenever
everyone.
you are ready and guest two, and we'll get you rocking here. All right. Looks like I was able to get into this game. Shenanigans is what we see. Is that Rune Folk with a bajillion cards? Yes, Rune Folk with 18 cards there. Um, some type of chicanery going on here. I don't know what's going on. We've got two bountiful meadows up here with Waru. Unique Council. Standard abilities can't activate. Create orders for crew total when played from hand. When my expedition fails to move forward, it does. After rest, draw 3 cards. Well, it looks like we might not be able to play that this day. However, the fact that he still has a card in his deck as well too. So he hasn't even drawn all his cards yet. So we got Ren going on here and Repotter Otter. I always mess that up calling Reporter Otter. Repotter Otter, the alliteration is real in that card. We see Adopt a Meeple probably looking for an answer here somewhere. Now, hoping that is the case and just that my screen is not frozen again. Yeah, let's refresh just to make sure. And by the way, nerf sap ASAP. I'm going to reload the table here, folks, just to make sure, because it seems like it was just cycling on the screen there. Seems like we had some play already going. We already have missed a few plays there, so you know what's causing it just to freeze up in the middle of the play here. We instantly see these bountiful meadows get played to essentially play It's a Top for free. Um, I say for free, but I think it was only 1 mana. So stopping the advancement, delaying the game again here as we've drawn the last card of our deck in our hand with Room Folk. So we have 15 cards in hand, which is crazy that that's not even the highest total that we have seen this stream. Got 18 now, 2 left in the deck. Time to post my Repotter Otter meme again. Oh, you do that. I loved the Repotter Otter stuff. As we go ahead and draw those cards now as well. So we've got our deck in our hand again. Roomfolk with 20 cards in hand, 10 mana. Should have answers for anything that is going to need here uh, for this day. Curious to see what comes out here. Ren is just in that desperate spot of only needing either or. But 575 definitely kind of makes it tricky here for, especially on the Muna side, because we don't know what's in hand. We've got extreme value coming out with these bountiful meadows here, just playing cards for free. like this legate that just got tossed down here. The unique sneezer shroom is coming back out into play. When playing from reserve, if you do, I gain anchored. If you put a card from your hand to reserve, which we'll see the Kodama, then the other abilities when played from hand. So that's not going to come into effect today. Cole, I don't know if you hop in there and see if you can help out Mark real quick. As your potato said, hey, that council looks familiar.
Working.
Hey, there we are. Yes, I've got you.
It's great to be here. Thanks.
Celebration day that's going on in here. The Bravos Hatter himself, Mark, is here, everyone. I believe this is the first time we have done any type of casting together. First off, how are you this lovely day?
Yeah, I am fine, thank you. A little bit busy with all the spoilers, keeping up on all the TCG
Yeah.
blog. They should be updated, so if people haven't seen any spoilers yet, go there. Or, of course, the link from a guy trying, and everything is there. I love it that my first game is
Yeah,
also
good deal.
WoW.
There we are. All right. Did not realize that my thing had switched over to using my webcam as my audio. So now that I've done that there, I don't know. Video Ninja does strange things sometimes. We got unique quets coming out here from Roomfolk. Again, another at dusk, draw 3 cards. So there seems to be a bit of theme going on with Roomfolk's uniques here. It's a hit this edition, draw 3 cards. So we now have 20 cards in hand. Again, 0 cards in deck. So all we literally have is just what's being played. As we see hypothermia coming down, putting quets to sleep. So that way, while it's within the XP expedition, we're going to be drawing cards on the next day, just because it's already sitting in there once Rand draws for turn there. And we've got the legates. Looks like we're actually going to be winning the companion side, so we're going to be failing to draw a card unless an Isataka or something else comes out to play here from Roomfolk, which is always a possibility with these bountiful meadows. So we've got a unique Robin Hood. Says my expedition fails to move forward at dusk after rest, draw 3 cards. And of course, the opponent can't play 2 less. As we see, another unique council that comes out here. Waru automatically puts him to sleep. And we're going to be drawing 1 card in hand now. I think this deck is just meant to draw. It's just meant to draw cards. I can hear you now, Cole. Yes. I don't hear Mark. There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you now, right?
I can hear myself, so that's not helping.
Yeah. All right. Let me try to turn you up some, Mark, and see if we got you here. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't. This app annoys me greatly. There we go.
Sounds a lot.
I had to switch it back to my my line mic. For some reason it keeps trying to add the webcam mic back. So we are back. Hopefully sounding a lot better there.
Yes.
Mark, you still with me here? Oh,
Yes. So this bottle has no cards left in the deck.
all right.
No
So
cards in
Rand
this card.
unfortunately has been.
And
Yeah.
That is game. That is game. Runefolk always playing some of the most unique decks I happen to ever see in this game with Waru there. Very good game. Ren just kind of getting stuck out there. Runefolk doing what he does. Not necessarily going to say holding hostage, but I mean, it's a top. That's just kind of what they do, stall things out until the game is done. Yeah, let me switch screens here, see if we've got another game to catch up on, but I think we might be ready for the next round. Yes, we are. We are in round three. Is there any table that might be catching your eye there, Adder?
Um, I just came in. So if you choose one now, I will have a look at all the things over here as well. So I will look. Let's see. We can do maybe with Skycrier, table 17. He's one of the exalts and one of the people who led the funnels to early wins.
I'll
I
make
think
my
in
way
season one
down.
and season two. Yes.
All right, let's get this pulled up here. Take forever and a day to get this game box open.
It's also, I think, a familiar name in the online tournament scene.
That, that was, yeah, you could take describing what's going on from there. For some reason, I've just been having issues opening BGA.
Not working from your side well, Mamoyan. You don't see a screen yet.
Through at all for anybody.
Sometimes you are.
And as well. Okay. An issue on my end. I know if you're able to get into the table, uh,
Yeah, I was able to enter after I reloaded it twice or something. Here against Asia, the Nevenka played, of course, the Maxwell training first. Asia entered answered the call with a tiny chin by getting the boost off and entering at the end of the turn, of course, in the mana zone. And Skycrier used Snowball Commando to win the other side. And now we're in day two.
looks like I'm finally getting something from BGA here to get this table open. All right, now I'm in there. I don't know what's been up today. I just have not been able to get into tables. Usually the issue is just webcam lagging, so I decided not to start off with the webcam. Then everything else is having problems. Okay. Thankfully, though, hasn't missed too much action as it's just the start of day two here.
So I think Mammalian finally got
Yep,
into the table as well.
yep. We are here.
Somehow we don't hear you
Mm,
anymore.
should be good here. Now, if we are all good here. I don't know, Hatter, if you can hear me or not.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly now.
All right. Good deal. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm in the table now, but now it's frozen. So I'll hit refresh. Know if it's an issue on my end or what, but I don't know. Usually I don't have this type of problem, so we'll see here. We're now hopping back into day three. Looks like we've just had single advances on both sides for the next few days.
Yes, you did. We're on to, I think, day one, two, three at the moment.
I'm tracking with
And
day
there is
three.
one
All
of,
right, it's keeping up with plays.
yeah. So there's one of Sky Scryer's beautiful uniques. When you roll one or more die, you may return a spell from your hand to the reserve. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do roll a die on a 4 plus, I gain 2 boosts. Otherwise, I gain 1. They are putting down that magical training and roll the dice and take it back up to hand directly again. So netting them 2 boosts.
Looks like a Faunus has a disciple now. A lot with Rebecca just playing the magical training and being able to put it back up there. Well, I guess put it in reserve and then pick it back up. As we've got the unique Loki coming into play and causing chaos amongst the hands in the board state.
Yeah, it's great. Just refilling your hands while playing a character. And also make sure that the cards of the Skycry are discarded. They discarded another Incaster, Martingale, and Magical Training. So also really great cards to be discarded as well.
Yeah, because definitely that's one thing that we do in the game of Altered. You're playing stuff to kind of sculpt your hand to kind of be able to have your options available for the day or for the next day. And Loki just says, hey, whatever you were trying to keep in your hand to pull out an ace card or a trump card, it's gone now.
Yeah. And the Taser player itself discarded only two Dollars of Yggdrasils, which are also maybe not always the greatest cards to have. So with both of these cards now in reserve, they can discard the Loki for another boost, and maybe play the Goldman with the boost of Tasia and the boost of the discarded support ability for a 5/5/5 anchored. That would be great, I think. And they still have some mana over for the rest of the turn.
Yep. Again. Um or you're in Hatter, are they already playing into the day? Are they already done their mana for turn?
Let's see. No, they haven't yet. Martin is still
Okay.
deciding
All
which
right.
of the 5 cards they got into mana.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't frozen up here. I've been having issues where at random points in time during the game, the screen just freezes, like, and it'll just show like the player's thinking. But in fact, that the game's already been progressing, it just for some reason BGA hadn't caught up to it.
Yeah. Well, I normally watch at the time in the bottom. If that's moving, then I know, hey, it's not frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes though, when they sit there for a little while, it's just like, and then they make a play and it's just like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, we just breathe
Yeah,
the sigh relief out there.
it's sometimes PGA as well. Also in my own games, sometimes it just freeze, and I'm like, Why is the opponent waiting so long to pass a turn? And I'm like, well, let's refresh, and he already did.
Yep. And then it'd be like
So
you see your time gone. Oh, we've got the spindle
yeah,
coming down the play here for Tasia.
yeah, that's a great play to make sure that your 5/5 cone man, which will probably be entered to play soon, cannot be hooked or at least more difficult or even be removed.
Yeah, and that's very important because I think outside of the cloth cocoon is the only one I could think of at the top of my head. Lyra doesn't have a ton of removal that I think that they play.
Well, they might be able to how's it called? Requiem. That's also a really good card to
Oh yeah,
have.
yeah,
But
yeah,
do
yeah.
you
They do
remove
have
the
that.
spindle or the anchored character? Probably first the spindle, but they decide not to make use of the support ability of the Loki.
Yep.
They
So you
have
get the
blood
Connector
lands.
Cone Man coming down in here, getting anchored, coming in boosted from Tasia. So we're
Yeah, with only 4 mana left, I think Deja still can do really damage with a few dice roll. Only this hero power will already make sure that they tie at least on the companion expedition, and they get the hook back, of course.
yep.
And this is a 1-0 for Navenka here, taking the lead. The Coleman is of course
Yep. And
still
it's
staying where he is.
Yep, and I think that's something that's very underrated or something that we see that like top players make is that, stalling out the lane, being able to advance 1-0. Sure, it's slow progression, but you're still moving while your opponent is staying put. Um, and
Yeah,
especially in a
exactly.
game
It's
that's
great.
we're all about exploring, making them stay put is it's very good.
It is. It is. I think blocking your opponent and making sure that the game takes longer is, yeah, well, I think better for some classes than other. I just saw the Sakurabo play some few hours earlier, and that's one of the things that is great. You can play Sakurabo on energy bars, making sure that your opponent is moving backwards twice. Even if they 2-0, they stay exactly the same, and you get at least 1 mana more. And if they advance, you don't. You even get a bar on the field. So I think that's always a win for you. Here the Navanka player is
Indeed.
playing that Willow Wisp again. With the role of Navanka, they probably do the same thing to make sure that the command stays there and not advancing without any card being played.
All right, here and then being mindful as well as the Will of the Wisp has, if the expedition facing me is in ocean, it can only move forward due to ocean. Um, And so we're kind of tapped into that there because we're still in the starting gates here. As we see the Requiem come down for Muna, getting rid of that Will o' the Wisp so that way Careful Crowman can now count towards advancing the lane here. So see the Snowball Commando come down the play here. I've got the
Yeah.
Loki exhausted. And
So
then
we
there's
know for
nothing
sure
in
that
reserve for the
supportability.
target. Yep.
So
And
that
then, so
supportability
yeah,
isn't going to be
there's
used.
Odama's coming down, being anchored, boosted from Tasia. Then we've got about 3 mana left on both sides. Curious what can be played here. If we're going to try to maybe attempt or force a double advance um, on
Well, I
the
think
side
the
of
Navanka
Tasia,
players.
or
Yeah, exactly. I think they will be, but I'm not really sure um, if they can. Because the Navenka still has 3 mana left as well, and also the die of the hero ability, so I think they can outstat. Ouch, that's a bad roll for a Navenka player over there.
yeah, that's not something you want to see there.
No.
Because now even with
Or
the
you
boost,
can
it's just
still
not
roll,
happening as
yeah.
yeah.
You can still roll for hopefully an anchor. didn't hit over here. So Taser
So
getting
you
a
got the double.
2-0, getting that lead. Yeah,
It's at this point now, it's kinda gonna be an uphill climb for, Navenka here, not being able to even at least stall out, that day here, and then we exhausted the Loki, so while we did make that support ability not available, for the day, now it could be back ready again, and also could just be played from the sport as well as a 4-5-5 for 3 is it's not too shabby of a stat stick to toss into the lane.
yeah, exactly. And if you play the first character, it's also for the boost. So it's a 5-6-6 for 3. That's immense stats. And with these double snowball commandos, you know that they won't play into the hero companion hero expedition soon. So well, you can focus on the companion expedition and stage there first.
Use the Will o' the Wisps, support ability. And again, like we
Yeah,
talked about here, that Loki getting statted up.
yeah. And with 7 mana left, you can probably see Hydra Arcana, of course. That's cost 7.
Mhm. Yeah, and with that spindle
It,
out, even if it's not the rare version, that tough is just gonna make it essentially invincible, honestly, to even play with.
yeah,
But if it is the rare version, the rare on top of the spindle, you're there's nothing you're just gonna be able to do with it.
no, no, that's right. That's it's tough 3 for now, and yeah, longer the game continues, it might get even higher.
Who knows? Navenka here is taking there quite a bit of time. As I said, this is definitely a puzzle they got to try to solve here and figure out what's going on. As the data list comes scouted in, rolling dice, got the 2, get the boost. Um, might be able to
So
do
let's see
something
what.
companion side.
Yeah, I think this is hard. Oh, they got another Coman. Great.
Yeah.
I think if I look at this state for the Navenka player with 0 forest, well, you should go to the companion, but with 7 water already there, it's maybe hard to contest.
Yeah, it's just absolutely brutal because especially when Mountain right now is the best that of anything that they have in their reserve. Of course, we don't know what's in hand, but unfortunately, on their
Yeah.
side, Mountain is neither region that they need to advance on either side.
They need to block at least one of the 2 sides to make
I
sure
think
that they
we're just
don't
gonna go for the
lose on the
AWOL
spot.
side here. Yeah. It's definitely tough because Tasha has one card in hand. We don't know what that card is, but if Navenka has to commit out either we've got to stop a lane either way. It looks like I'm assuming they chose to do the hero expedition because we got the aloe vera there. Another 2 will tie up. We may not win the lane, advance the lane on our own end, but at least we will stall out Tasia here. Oh, we are playing the kids today. Get over there and draw a card, and essentially like now force the Navenka role. Play one of the characters maybe from reserve from hand, and then have to force the Navenka role just to get the boost to tie the lane up.
And yeah, if they rolled here 4 or higher, they could another boost, and they had a 9 on water. They are blocking at least
Yeah.
well, the hero expedition, so it's only a 1-0 for Tasia.
But that was a lot of work and a lot of resources just to stall out one lane. As now
Yeah,
Tasia is on a two-way go to go either way. As just Jack said, Navenka probably had the hook still true, but with the spindle being out, we gotta remember it costs 4 mana. So at this point, it's almost half of Navenka's available mana just to be able to play hooks at any point in time during the turn, unless the spindle is eventually dealt with.
a sleight of hand. They're gonna take back one of the commandos to make sure that they can at least exhaust one of the 2 cards in reserve now. So the Tasia got only 3 cards to play.
Yeah, and just hope that on the all Tasia has is maybe some high cost cards in hand there, and hope for the best.
Yeah,
It's not impossible, but it's just certainly it's going to be a difficult way to try to climb ourselves out of this hole here. And certainly a puzzle to figure out. However, the vicar does have like 3.5 minutes left of thinking time, so still doing things at a pretty solid pace if they are able to kind of figure out how to navigate their win condition out of this board state.
yeah. Yeah, the hook is still relevant because they can, of course, hook the AWO to the other side, making sure that, um, well, if they just play all on the companion expedition, they might block them and go there for 1-0. So as a Taser player, I think you cannot go all in on the companion expedition and need maybe to play something in the hero expedition as well to make sure that hooked over there, yeah, well, can be used.
Yeah. Again, I said not impossible, but definitely extremely difficult as we see the Kodama or Dracena come out from reserve here. Getting anchored, getting boosted, um, making a six. So if we do see that snowball commando come out there to exhaust the Kitsune, still gotta do a
Yeah,
little bit of work, try to get that lane tied up over there.
yeah. And of course, with the Hato and Commando already having 7 mountain as well, they can go up to, I think it's 10. They got the hero power and also the trickster, so potentially 13 on a mountain for the companion expedition. So they might be able to get at least, um, well, block everything the Tasia player can play, right?
Yeah. Yeah, unless like we've got an ace in a hole in our hand for Tasia here to bust out. Okay, we see the Tiny Jin come out to play. So no Dracena that was potentially popping, hoping, not hoping to see that potentially could have come out, and would have presented
Yeah,
a big issue for the Inventor to try to solve there. But more importantly, though, Hatter is that's three more in the mountain makes it nine, which would almost force everything to come out to try to stop the advancement on the mountain here.
right.
Oh,
Again, an
what a
Aja,
play!
what a beautiful hand.
What a
14
play.
mountain
Now
is
we're
little
at
big.
14 mountain. That's a mountain to climb.
Yeah, it
And the
is.
GG's has been extended. Uh, yep, and of course the cloth cocoon now comes far too little, far too late. Needed that maybe about a turn or two ago, perhaps. Um, and well played to our Tasia player. Is it Martin Peshu? I'm not sure. I would just say the Tasia player here, so that I'm not butchering anything else up. Fun game. Fun game though. Let's see here. Wonder how much time we have left in the round. See if we can find ourselves another game here. To find another table had to just give me a holler. Let's see if
I'm
I can get
sorry.
us in. You're good. I'm loading on my end too, so it makes me at least slightly happy to know that it's not a me issue.
Yeah, probably the qualification tourney this weekend broke BGA and they're still recovering. So let's see. We can
Could be.
maybe do one of the top tables.
Um. Uh. Yeah. I'm loaded in trying table four, but it looks like this game is wrapping up. Yep.
I hope all tables are wrapping up as we are almost,
Go back to the
well,
tournament page.
done over here.
Got it. All right, sounds tight. Sounds like we might just be in a holding pattern until the start of the next round. So by the time we'll get loaded up into these tables here, these games are wrapping up. The qualifier this weekend. I was asking if you had a chance to play in the qualifier this weekend.
No, I did not, sadly. I had my own Timble Championship. I played there, but sorry, losing in the semis, a little bit sad. Then came home, and the qualifiers were already far underway, so um, I couldn't join in. But I did watch some games though of all of the marbles, looking at his study list, and of course
So
the
Jelly,
stream
you
with Claudius
guys
versus I think it was Trickster, right?
get to play the malt championships there.
You can play that one as well.
Table 43 had quite a bit of progress.
43. Let's see.
43 had some progress. I'm trying to get inside the table right now. Um, taking a minute to load up here.
It is, of course, a Goran player, and they're playing against a Trace. But still a few expeditions to get on moving.
My buddy ACZ. Seen them earlier.
Tapping
Table in time.
Well, so far, I think you're good. Maybe they use the trace ability here to draw a little more. As the game might be ended indeed.
Into this game.
Spectators, and now you're gone.
Okay. The scene switched over here. See what we got going on. All right, we are tied up on expeditions now. So we're heading into day 10.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most days a Trace has ever seen in a game.
Yeah, that might be. The Gorong is playing the rare stuff cleric, meaning they can, well, choose an expedition as soon as the opponent traced is resupplying or something playing something from reserve. And that's every time a 2/2 token in a target expedition. I don't see the strays getting out of this for this day at least. Who do you
Is
think
this
can
showing that they're
normally
waiting to
be the winner in this
discard a
matchup?
landmark? A refresh. It's showing that we're waiting on Trace to discard a landmark, but what you're describing sounds like they're already advancing on into the day.
I think they are. Yes.
Let me refresh the table then. There we go.
With that staff clerk being played, I don't think the trace player will ever win here. And the end of the game, due to
Time in
the
round
maximum
has
time reached, means that
all
the
right.
Groveland
Means we're
player will
probably
still
ready for round
win
4
this game.
here. All right, which means round 4 should be getting loaded up here pretty soon. Is there a table you want to look at in particular, Hatter?
Let's see. As soon as the new things are up, I see some great names. I have a quick look. Let's see. We might have a look at Alea. Maybe she got one of those sweet Muna decks as well. Let's see. Round 4
Table
still
is
needs to be
active.
loaded by me. Oh, they're still busy. Oh my,
Evidently,
or
we
not?
still have a
Or
table of
is
like
it by
7
you
more.
already done?
Yeah, table 15 and
You
table
hop onto the
14 are
table
both
and
still
I'll
playing,
join
which is
you.
odd because we've reached the.
Yeah.
But see if it's letting me join here because it looks like it's about to time them out. Um, very strong players as far as the ELO rankings go as well too.
One player has 9 mana
By the
left, and
time I
also
get in
this new
there,
trace one also got 9 mana.
head back to the tournament page here and see. All right, even now I'm having issues with the tournament page loading up. I'm getting the double logo of BGA on the loading screen here. Seem to be having more issues than usual than normally. I said normally during a cast, it's getting into stuff is fine. Um, Not this weekend, just kind of did stuff in or what, but
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same thing. I think it's a little bit more than I'm used to, but
mm,
I think this game is almost done.
sorry, I'm trying to just get back to the tournament page, be ready for the next round here. Um, Yep, just double checking my networks. My network's all good to go. Okay, I'm back to the tournament page. Yeah, they at this point were just waiting for the next round's pairings here. So I'm excited to start seeing some card reveals here, but seems like a lot of them is probably not going to be dropped until later on tonight. Hatter, do you have any that you're going to be dropping during the reveal season?
So I will. I just posted a little spoiler of the review. I have one on the 18th, so it's gonna be great. It's only thing I can say is move your feet or lose your seat. So that will be probably um, yeah, the spoiler to go for. I think I'm one of the latest spoilers this year, but I'm fine to have a spoiler anyway. I think my card is gonna be played a lot. I think it's really great. At least it feels really great. So let's see, which table do you want to go into?
We're loaded up. I'm heading straight to table one. We haven't had a table one match. Yeah, let's head to table
Yeah, let's
one.
do this.
Yeah, no, I think my card is like a matchup specialty, so it's kind of one of those like if Altered had sideboards, I would definitely say it is a sideboard card. But I don't know, but it's going to be like one of those meta calls. It's either you're going to get absolute ton of use out of it, or you're not really going to get a lot of it at all. So we'll see. We'll see. Excited. Mine is, I think mine drops this
Forward.
week.
When can you?
Is it 12th this week? It is. Yeah. Switched over. There we go. I don't know if we've got people dropping on BGA, but things seem to be moving smoother the later we're getting into the tournament today. We've got a Basira and a Faunus again here matching up. This is the top table, by the way. So this is table one. Early Bravos Blade Dancer. I mean, typical things here. We got an Faunus with the Conjuring Seals. Look like they gave up the double advance in order to get some card advantage. Dropping the Mage Dancer
Yeah.
down. Basira dropping an Isan Bushi. These players are playing at a blistering pace. Cards are just flying left
Wow.
and right. Got the floral tint. Oh, I don't see this
Oh,
played
that's a
often in
nice looking
Bravos.
unit.
Hatter, what would be the reason of playing the floral tint here? I don't see this often in Basira.
Pretty sure. You could also have chosen for the Blade Dancer and getting the boost on the Blade Dancer, so it already a 3 mana 4/4 next turn. I think he is trying to set up the Blade Dancer into the Hero Expedition with the full 10 protecting it already. Um, Trying to win the expedition, get the full tent and a Blade Dancer both back to the reserve, maybe. Oh no, this is not the rare Blade Dancer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one with the
Then this would make sense.
yeah. Got a unique Bravos Tracer out here. Of course, the standard I gain a fleeting, but this one is when I leave the expedition zone. If I have one or more boosts, draw a card. Reserve ability of you may have a target character other than me lose fleeting if they somehow get that fleeting
Yeah, I
token
think
off
it's
of that.
really solid. I think for
Yeah,
the
I
zero,
have
you
a
really want to have those. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We had another unique come into play with the Baba Yaga. It says at dusk, if I have one or more boost, draw a card. And then when I go to reserve from the expedition zone, you return a card other than your hand to reserve. And then you're good to go. Hat.
Yeah, I think for a Bazir player, you actually want to see some of those draw uniques to make sure that if you're getting sabotaged, you can keep your game plan rolling. Because I think without, without the draw and the card advantage, you're gonna be crippled very fast.
All right, as we see the sap infusion coming down in here, this is a new tool that I've been seeing a Faunus player shift to since his errata. Just being able to kind of get those things going in reserve, and you just get a ton of value out of there. Uh, Slapping that boost out when you need it. Not very so much early on, but definitely once you start getting up in those 8 and 9 mana range, just being able to slap, you know, 4 or 5 boosts for 3 mana is a huge, huge swing in stats.
So your connection is a little bit bad, I think. Sometimes you're talking and then you get cut off.
Oh,
So we
okay.
see that last player here put in the spindle harvester maybe for one of those sap infusions to get it big boosted.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I was just talking about the sap infusion being a new tool that Afanas players have been using since the errata. Usually it's better when they have those 8 or 9 mana. Just being able to essentially drop. Sometimes I've seen 4 and 5 boosts at the cost of 3 mana is a huge stat swing a lot of the times.
Yeah, it is. And I think now with the new errata of Avanos, the common version is played, well, is worth more because it
Yeah, as
doesn't
we see
get
it go
fleeting
ahead and
like
get
the rare.
played. Yeah. And it's right immediately on that mage dancer there. And then of course, since it is already a spell, doubling up with Afanas' ability to give it another boost as well. You see the Tellurian Skater coming down in here being no, not scouted, just raw played.
Yeah,
Boosting up as we've got a 2-1 advance here. One thing that you like to see as a Bravos player because as you are dwindling on card advantage here, you're trying to make it to where you don't need as much work to be put in. Now they put themselves in a position that they just need to win either expedition in order to close this game out. Little scary though, as all Afanas and Izmir players, when they have a bunch of cards in hand, sometimes they can just stall you out as they just march into a comeback.
they can, and I think that's one of the things that made this matchup so favorable for Avanos before the errata. All of those removals. Getting, of course, a little bit neglected by that floral tent, making sure that only the boost gets removed instead of the characters. So I'm really looking for what they are trying to do here.
See here, looks like we're still going to ramp just in case, not playing it too safe. Also, plus Tiny Jan is just a great character to be in a mountain when you need a mountain advance. Just got that 3 on there essentially for free. Then we're debating whether oh no, we chose not to use Basira to give him another boost, which means we probably just got another card we're gonna play in here. Uh to that ever lethal 2-way go. So it could be playing something in the companion zone, boost it to kind of force Afanas to have answers in hand.
Another tiny gin coming out. Really great stats as well. Making sure if you get somehow the boost, oh, it's not on yet. So that one gets
Yeah.
sent back to the reserve because it didn't have a boost yet.
And we've got the Evanescence here card again, another card that I've seen that's been heavy into play since the nerf as well too. Very good card, just sending stuff to reserve, and again, it's always X+2. So at the worst, you can at least get a two cost character, and then sometimes I had seen
Yeah,
this card pop off to put a 4 cost. I've seen Akhluts put back into reserve from well, honestly, get sent off because they already had the fleeting from
yeah.
that card there. Did Solarian Skater
I
come
think
in, give it the boost?
yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
great. I'm probably giving the boost to the skater now, or oh no, he's not doing that. We're making sure that the Avanos player needs to play at least one spell to block them both.
Yep. either play a spell or a character, which we are do have that Baba Yaga that's sitting in reserve there that we could play for
Yeah,
two and completely take
you
the
could play that, but
companion expedition.
you need then still one more boost to get divided, right? Because otherwise they're just moving anyway.
Yeah, we got the
Oh,
sap
they
infusion coming down here.
can probably give the boost of Avanas to the Spittle Harvest to also block the companion expedition and getting a
No,
2-0 themselves.
yeah, we are winning the expedition with that three forest. So we got a 2-1 advance, 2-0 advance, excuse me, for Afanis here. So now we have closed that gap. We were talking about this. What might help though is that Tiny Jin um, should be going to there. Yep. So we got a little bit of ramp going for Basiro. He was hoping to get that second one, but Afanis took care of that before that boost came into play.
And you see here what Avanas is now trying to do. They will play the cycle first, probably, to get it out of the reserve and making sure you have a one mana play. And hopefully they try to getting that Sap of Fusion boosted by playing some other spells. And then it should be enough to get them at 2-0, at least, I think. That's what Avanas is trying to do here.
Right. And then over here on the other side, you could just hope that Afanis out of his many cards and hands doesn't have any removal. So you just as a Basira player here, Adder, do we just try to load up on one expedition and just try to close this out?
Specifically, if you play now Aklut from hand, because that's, I think, one of the best play you can have right now, making sure that the substitution can be played.
All right. We see the Siren Guard
They
coming into
do
play
have
here,
that
looking pretty
Rengar.
strong on the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the big drawbacks of the Rengar. It's great in forest. It's really bad in anything else. So um, no forest to be seen from the Zero though. So they need to play it somewhere.
Why not also play an
Fana
expedition
still
that
need.
would potentially stop the Afanis from advancing as well, considering they need either forest or mountain too. So
Yeah, exactly.
Afanis player
But I
here is
strongly recommend.
yeah really taking their time here.
I, yeah, they're boosting up their sap infusion still, so they probably have one character left to get it boosted. So
Hey yo, that goes a long way in making sure that you can close out a game here.
yeah, yeah, they're making also sure that the boost that they are evenly divided a little bit. So if the boost gets removed by a removal spell, they just don't lose all the boost on one basket.
Yeah. We could also just duel a grit at this point too if we've got one in hand. If we've got two mana, just to kind of just tell them no. But hey, look at there.
There it is. Yeah,
And that would do it. GG's have been called. Our top table here. Definitely a good game.
yeah.
Looked like Basir was going to run away with it, but a lot of Asmir or Izmir, Afanis just finding the right cards, had the card advantage early, was able to stall things out and come back and claw this win. Um, I just love Gus. I still hope you're in chat, Gus. 'Cause this is another Afanis win, and this was the top table win. As he has tried to declare that Afanis is dead, but clearly he is alive and
But
well.
it's not enough finals win, right? It's Brazil that's winning here.
Oh yeah. It is. Right. I'm so happy trying to mess with Gus. I was hoping it would happen again, but it's all right. Gus swears that Afanis is dead. He's just I just don't think he wants to put in the work to figure out uh how to play him in this new era here. Let's see. Is there a table header you see there? Might like.
We can go to table 31, where Paul of Troy, um, the creator of some of the altered database website. Let's see what he's playing.
Yeah. As soon as it loads up, I'll be in. Gus, I love you, buddy. I love you. I'm just trying to open up your mind and expand. I don't want you to give up on playing your favorite character. That's all. All right. We said table 31, Hatter.
Yes, I'm there.
Just
But
checking
you need
what
to
you had.
move
You
on.
said table 31, right?
Otherwise, this game's over.
Oh, the game's
Yeah.
over?
No, I'm not really sure, but it can be. We see a Twinkle Twinkle still in the reserve, but there is the Spindle Bastion to make sure that, well, at least they need to play something more. But I think it's still not right. 4 mana to sleep the Aloe Vera to making it to our progress here. And they are not going for it.
All right. I am going to hop into table 3. They have less than 50% of their game done. Um,
Table number 3, I'm hopping in as well. Okay, I like it. Against the trace. Oh, I mean, a Tsari player against the trace. And Tsari just played the hunger, removing the whole board. Trace still got the hero ability, and it's not a fleeting hunger, so I think this is at least a 1-1 over here.
I always think it's so weird when I play against other Lindway players because I'm so used to like never seeing them that when I see Ma in the top right, it just feels wrong to me. And I know it's the right zone.
Oh, maybe I had the wrong table. But I'm now here. It's still a trace player, but then against Lindy.
Yeah. Yeah, Trace against Lindway. Yep. Wesh here are Kraken. Um, again, I think we caught the tail end of his game another time earlier in the round. I think he was in the
Yeah.
Trace mirror that went to like 6 days.
Let's see. That's a really great Ishbir Stargazer. You can sacrifice him at the end of the round to draw 2 and get a Maul boosted, and of course the Mob Lantern token. So at dusk there will be some shenanigans.
I think at dusk is some of my favorite card abilities in this game. Unfortunately, these at dusk abilities make uniques cost absurd amounts of money.
Yeah.
I have yet to pull one out of the many boxes that I have bought in the product for this game. I've yet to pull a unique that's had an at dusk effect.
So Wes is taking here the 2-0 by sacrificing Stargazer all by himself or by herself, making sure it gets just over the Frankenstein and the Grams. Do you think Trace can
Yeah,
come back from in this game?
a trace. Um, it's gonna be tough. One of the things that helps right now is that Lindway is not first player. So if they're gonna play the mods, already gonna cost 1 mana off a rip. However, the other difficulty with this is again with the Izmir faction, they've got such cheap removal. They could go ahead and commit to playing off on one side. Granted, yeah, the hook is there, but the Tooth Fairy can come out and point in case. Oh no, we decided to get rid of the Salvager, which makes me think we might have
Yeah.
another way to deal with this hooked. and just load up on the side, whatever side that she wants to, and then just close the game out that way.
I think as a new player right now, you are not really afraid of the hook of right because that maul can become a mess.
Yeah, and then we've got the Orders Armory out here. So we're setting up for playing this Moth Lantern. Um, and we're gonna have a two-way go with that Maul on the other side there. This seems like we're gonna have multiple triggers going. We got the Grim that's gonna pop that armor there. Well, no. Before I get rid of the
I
bug
think
out bag.
yeah, indeed. Getting another 2/2 out.
Oh,
I'm
popping
not
his
really
own
sure
Haven.
if yeah.
Guess we have no way to put another card in reserve this turn. The Izmir Moth Breeder being scouted out, producing a Mana Moth. Yep, again. Then we can just play anything from this point. The Moth Breeder can come in for ones, and then we still got the two left for the Lantern to sacrifice if we wanted to,
Yeah.
or we can bring Maw out and then use the Moth Lantern for the sacrifice and create another lane over here too.
Last card is an
The
avalanche.
Avalanche.
Nice. They can discard up to a mountain 4, and that's mean everything at the moment.
Okay, Trace is doing what they needed to do in order to have some life. Yeah, about that.
Yeah, that's a setup.
Off
You
you
go for a
go.
trace player over here.
Yeah, that did doing what they needed to do. Honestly, without the off you go there, I don't know if they actually had the answer to double advance and really make this a game. Would have closed that gap
Yeah.
though. Wesh there, being able to close it out with Lindway. Good table choice.
Yeah, he gets
Let's see what we got
also unbeaten
going
now.
on here.
4 out of 4. Still 2 matches left to play. Let's see. Which one do we join?
I'm loading up here, so you tell me if you find one that's good, and I'll join you.
I see table 32. It just takes a really long time still in progress. 57%. It's again the table of Skycrier, who was seen earlier with the Navenka.
Table you got.
The table with Skycrier, was it 21? 37? Wait, quick look. It's 32.
Yeah, we've had him on. We've on stream too. What about table 44? Maybe
Sure, I'll open that one.
table 44. I haven't seen
Before
these players. At least these names don't look familiar to me on stream. Put up here. Got a Sigismar mirror match.
yeah.
And man, out here putting people to
So
sleep.
just need to target if we want to choose one of the opponent's characters or one of them own. And at this time, I think you want, to sleep your own attorney. But you might give up the expedition lead here as well for a 2-0.
I don't know if you can afford a 2-0 this late in the board state here, giving up a 2-0.
Yeah. if that's
We're
too
coming down
close
here.
end of it's a teamwork training. What do you remove? Yeah, they're removing the attorney and giving up a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, just to be a 1-0 lead instead, and then denying the Sigismar the card draw, which, you know, both of these players are technically at top decking, but we've got a unique Ozma. Says if you have less than 8 mana orbs, well, we can't draw off of that now. So both players at this point just top decking, true top decking.
Yeah.
Pull out this win here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have teamwork training the attorney. I think giving them a draw and giving yourself the lead might not have been a bad idea, but I'm not really sure. So Foxy discarded the legate because the Osma is a free token for support ability, and I think that's well really the thing that they want to play here. And also it's 3 on water, and they're flying in water, of course, in the Hero Expedition.
We've got the unique Paper Herald that's also in the reserve over here. Just creating orders recruits, no card abilities here, but still, uh, at this point, we're just looking for raw stats or anything that's going to be
Yeah.
producing said stats as the Paper Herald gets played here. With the Orders Trooper and Mountain here. Sandman is a very good stat for what's going on here. I could see it definitely going to the companion side.
Yeah, it
Instantly
is.
taking a lead over in the companion expedition. Nope, we're going to use it to go ahead and shore up this hero side over here. Kind of forcing Sigismar's hand, well, Foxy's hand here. That's maybe to answer for that. We got the rally call.
Okay, why did they
Boosting is supposed
give up?
Sandman.
Why not just boost your
What?
own trooper?
Right.
Little mistake.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
They got a license to draw.
Given
They
the
wanted to
boost
get
for the
rid of
license
something.
withdrawal. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
because
is
the
either
license
way a
withdrawal it had to be.
1-1. Ooh, they're gonna take a 1-0 lead over here.
Yep. So again, trying to have thought they had some gotcha plays going on there, and just didn't happen. So again, Foxy said bad cards here. However, this is kind of where we're at because you're just top decking at this point, so you're at the mercy of whatever's coming off the draw.
Yeah, it is. Next turn,
Thank
anything
you
can
all
happen
who's
still, right?
24 people still watching with us. Thank you for viewing. I know it's probably been a bit of a tiring weekend for everybody. Probably those who played may not be tuning in or still trying to catch up from rest. Uh, maybe at work right now. Who knows? Um, but we appreciate any type of viewership that we get. It helps the channel grow. Helps the game grow, honestly, as well too. There's none of us, any of us who are involved, get paid for this. Like I said, we just gotta do the commentary. Like Simon and Kohlrabi and Blue, all those guys are running stuff behind the scenes. I don't know. I couldn't imagine where our community would be without these guys front loading this effort, organizing tournaments and community events. So, thank you guys.
Yeah, they're doing
We've
great
got
work.
the orders for.
Thanks for the shout out.
Got the rallying call here that I guess we're just gonna play straight up on the orders for group. I don't foresee another license withdrawal play coming in here. Yeah.
So ATP loan probably think, well, let's put everything in a companion expedition. And there's a frog prince. Wow. It got good stats to block oh, the opponent, but there is a charge.
Yeah. Magical trump card.
Yeah, even another frog prince wouldn't close this game. So yeah,
All right, and that wraps our game up. ATP Long taking it down in the battle of the top decks for a couple days there, and wind up being able to
yeah.
find the answer they needed with the charge there. Okay.
Let's see. We
Now
only got
everything's
one table
flying.
left.
Uh, yeah, BGA is rolling now. I'm scrolling through stuff's popping up instantly. So maybe they had a tournament going on earlier. There was a higher demand on the servers. Who knows? Yeah, I think there's only one table that I'm seeing here, unless I'm scrolling too fast.
Yeah.
But
No, I see the same thing. They can finish it before the time ends. It's always sad when the game ends because of the time and you're in the front row position, but still lose because of your time.
the person, yeah. All right, it's probably gonna take too long. By the
Gonna
time I
win
get
this
in there,
game.
the game's probably gonna be close to being done.
Yeah, it is done.
All
Skycar
right,
gets
so
a
we just
2-0
have to
here.
wait for the pairings to.
Sleeping twice. Twinkle, twinkle.
Okay, so that's why we wait for pairings that are coming up. Hatter, what type of cards or maybe some type of mechanics you're looking forward to seeing in Skybound Odyssey coming out here?
I'm pretty excited for, well, of course, the Bravos Hero Soul, but also I'm well looking at Nadir, the Lyra hero. I think that's gonna be very interesting, manipulating the board state. We have, of course, the region tokens itself can create them, creating well, hopefully an advantage for yourself, but sometimes even a disadvantage. With one of the spoilers that came out today, you can even move one of those markers around. So if you played that water marker early, you can move it around to make sure that, well, I look at you tiny gins and at the mighty gins to make sure that they're on the water spot only, making them, well, nullified by that. So I'm really looking forward for that board manipulation card at the moment. And yourself, what type of cards are you looking for?
Uh, yeah, it's the same type of deal. I'm excited for the bot. I was having to um, essentially hooked on a character when you sacrifice a character, you get to move a target character. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Being able to manipulate or move Maw around or any other type of character. It's something that's much needed. I feel like that opens up flexibility for Lindway. I am hopping in table 6 is where I'm going. Is round 5 has been posted. We'll head over to table 6 and see what we've got going on here.
So we see in table
It's fun.
6, a Kojo versus Akasha player. But the first turn, both had a movement on water, or the hero expedition, I mean, and now the first player has become Kojo, getting that Buddha out, and hopefully get that extra pressure. With, of course, the Pathfinder and the Tiny Jin. They start off with playing the Haven, getting that resupply in, which of course is very handy when you have the Buddha out, because you're setting up that landmark for free.
Yeah, you definitely have to take advantage of having that Buddha out. I've always felt bad when I've played Kojo, and then my turns that I have Buddha and I lose the companion lane, or I'm not able to take advantage of that. It feels like it sets you back. It's not even like a wash. It just feels like it just completely sets you back on the hero.
Yeah. Well, at this time you take advantage by, well, maybe you're giving up one of the two lanes, but you get at least a Haven in, you get a resupply, you get a full reserve to make use of that Haven. So I think this is well played and it's an easy 1-1, but in the next day you have more cards and the landmark there. So and also for the Akasha
All right,
player,
you got
she's probably only to look for going a 1-1 anyway here, so
all right. Again, Alice, which I don't see hardly played in any Izmir decks anymore. So we see Ben out to play here as we are busting out the Tooth Fairy, getting rid of the Tiny Jin.
yep.
No ramp for you today, sir.
And I think that's the correct decision, right? Because the tiny gens are so good at the moment. With that ramp, getting a little bit more mana to play with, getting extra cards in as well. There is a Skadi. And from reserve, if I'm in the mountain, you may discard target permanent on a 2/3 for 2/3/2 stats. And a support ability next check you play this turn cost 1 less.
And Scotty's another one of those characters that are almost never played. And that's something that I do like about uniques. Sometimes we get to see characters that don't get played in our common or their rare form, but because they're unique, is such a either decent or good ability, they make it into these decks. So it's nice when they get to pop up from time to time.
I totally agree. Playing that Alice is tapping out the Akasha player with 2 mana left to coach, you still have 1 card in hand. They might take advantage and getting a 1-0 here, but I'm not really sure if they got at least one 2 cost here. Yeah, they do. And this is one of the things that you actually want to see as a Gojo player. Next turn, you're starting first. You have 2 cards in reserve with a Bastion in play. Getting that Buddha token out, and I think you're great. You're looking great over here.
Yep. Against Kesha, I found that like most of these late game or late game slash control decks, any type of stall deck. This is kind of the danger zone area. I feel like 3 zones is probably about the most that you can give up before you need to start making stuff happen. If they ever close down the two, and you haven't started closing the gap yourself, you really put yourself behind in trying to find the answers that you need in order to make the game back up.
It's, we also didn't see any card draw yet for the Akasha player, and they I think they really need it. So they need to play now like a magical training or something to well, get a card advantage for themselves. Maybe not this day, but at least the day hereafter.
You see it figuring out what Akesha's going to do here. Of course, don't have that first player token, so can't just pop in after you to figure out what's going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Tooth Fairy out of reserve. Um, Signals to me maybe we don't have card draw in hand, because usually magical training also works great. It's just kind of like a soft pass. You get 1 mana, you draw a card, and you haven't revealed any of your tactics to your opponent for the turn.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure what the culture player will do. Oh, they got his orders by coming from hand.
Yeah. Man, so we're most likely
Which
going
they
to keep that into the reserve for the next turn so that we can bust out that
yeah
orders recruit. Um, Nothing to sabotage, of course, though, sad face. But again, we're probably just playing this to get ready for the reserve for next turn.
yeah
Uh,
yeah. I'm really wondering why they didn't play the order spy first. They could have well sabotaged the tooth fairy. It's at least you have something to sabotage. Then they needed to play something from hand, so you have actually more information to know what you
yep.
can play
Yeah.
afterwards.
I have one card in hand, but Akesha is doing what has been a weakness of a lot of Izmir decks. If they don't draw cards early or have resupplies or anything, if they don't create any type of card advantage, it's just kind of easy to roll over them a lot of times.
Yeah, because you're probably breaking like that. If you don't have a lot of cards, you don't can make the decisions. You can only play what you have out of one, three, or four cards, and then it's over, right?
Yep, and as a faction that prides itself on having these type of control answers and things like that, you really it's not like Bravos. Okay, Bravos or Axiom if they maybe don't find like their disruption answers, they still kind of play their cards and still get it. Izmir is kind of built around like having that. If they don't have the options, a lot of times playing what they have doesn't feel that great to be honest.
Yeah.
So I will say, Hatter, if you're the Kojo player here,
Yeah.
obviously we don't see that Akesha has a card draw. Um, Running low on things, are you attempting to maybe get another 2-0, a double advance day here, before you just start stacking up in one expedition? Or do we now just think we're able to start focusing on just winning a single lane to close the game out here? Um,
Yeah. No, normally, I think I would try to go only for 1-1, except if you got a Buddha turn, then you can go for the 2-0. Because without that Buddha, it's well much harder to get the 2-0 in. Yeah, luckily we see here a mighty Jin coming down.
yeah. We do have
That
this unique Izmir moth breeder though, that's going to be
yeah,
able to create mana moths. Well, we did create the mana moth to actually give us a lane advance on the other side here because I thought it was going to be another 2-0 day, having just enough to seize the day.
yeah, and not having to spend any more cards is great for them, you're right? They just play only one card, keep the rest in hand, so they have more options at the moment. Our card you're playing is of course drawing a card with a tiny Jin, because you're already up on mana and you need some card draw as well. So they
And so
are
instantly ripping off
purposely
the
not
Mighty
playing
Jin
the
out of
Skadi.
reserve. Mhm.
Yeah, I would do that as well, right? They try to keep the Skadi
Mhm.
purposely in reserve to make sure that if there is a Skadi gear, they can discard it with the reserve ability here from the Skadi. So I think that's great. And there's a hunger.
Fortunate enough, we've got that one
Really,
last card in hand here.
yeah, I would draw something with the Mighty Jin at the moment to see if you can draw anything more.
That's exactly what we do. Drew the card with the Mighty Jin. See if we can
The hunger is at
sneak a
best now
hero
at 1-1.
expedition advance. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly what
Serving
we
that
do here
nice.
with this Sarengar.
Yeah,
I wonder if we had it in hand already or if we
it's
drew
just
it.
enough. it could be both ways. Well,
Tough
lining
spot here.
exactly
We're
up
we
before the
don't
start.
have the Yeah, we don't have the Buddha turn. If we didn't draw like a physical training or another character, a gigantic hunger with maybe some way to get boosts could wrap this game up. It just depends on what we've got
Mm.
to play here from hand. One good thing that helps though is that Hero Expedition is forced, and that Searing Guards already can pop off three right from reserve.
Yeah, if you play the Hunger right now and you have something like an Off You Go or a Finances in play, you would get, of course, get rid of the Syringa and getting a boost of the Hunger as well. Not sure if that is the play over here because you're not having that much mana to play the Hunger from reserve.
Yeah,
Because a 3/3/3 Gigantic isn't good enough at the moment.
we play Baba Yaga. Looks like we're fishing for answers, but in the meantime, we've got lane advantage. If the hunger is coming, it's gonna have to be the next play, though. Good, good. Bravo's tracer here, which essentially means the hunger is not coming. So we've got the off you go here. Tossing that tracer out the way. Of course, it's already fleeting, so it's going straight to the discard pile. Um, we did have another character. We scouted, given the Serengar a boost here.
Okay, they got a Tooth Fairy over here that's golden. Just playing next to the Baba Yaga and discarding that Skater.
Have one. We have the Amarak. Oh, a
That's
unique
also really
Amarak.
great.
It's gotten rid of. Yes, if I'm the only character, you send a reserve target character to him, cost 3 or less. And this skater is only going to be able to tie up the hero expedition when it
Yeah.
gives itself a boost, unless we got something from hand here to.
If they got a Chiron and a Rabbit, they could have won, but we see that they don't have
I
it.
think we play that Tolarian skater that early on the scout. If we did have the fire rabbit, I think we would have just played the fire rabbit first.
Yeah.
Here we are. I talked about that that 3-zone lead. That's where we need to keep it at, and that's where Kesha was at, and was able to pull this game into um, a board state to the same. Either lane wins.
Yep. You see that they discard the Amarok and not the Hunger, so they have something that they want to be playing with the Hunger probably. Otherwise, you would
Yeah,
kept the Amarok, I think.
yeah, or that, or just the fact, just keeping that hunger looming there, so that way if maybe they play a magical training. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about the after you because they're not first
Yep.
player, but that is sometimes a devastating combo, being able to play a magical training, and then after you essentially have gotten 2 passes, you've gained a card, and you've gotten quite a bit of information out of your opponent having to play cards here.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and specifically if you're a Kojo on the first turn as well, you already played something just for the training and you play something more, and you probably have, well, at least spend more mana than the training, and you can, well, hopefully play the Hunger. They probably don't
Yeah.
have it.
Uh, oh, there it is.
Oh no. Yep. Maybe
However,
we
this
see a
is a
Hunger
what?
into the
A
Hunger.
six? Is it 6 or 7? 6? I mean, with 8 mana, well, I guess 2 cards in hand, you're kind of forcing them to have what they need. Uh, I don't know if that's going to be possible. We're just raw playing the Moth Breeder from hand here. Go ahead and keeping our card in hand. Going to the Thunderdome, which has been the first one this stream. Heading into the Thunderdome
Yeah.
here. Um, the Hunger, though, not that good in the Thunderdome, being gigantic, however, without any boost, eating up 6 mana. I don't know if that's going to help you out here. I don't think
I
either
think
player is going
it
to
can.
resource of mana. I stand corrected. Buddha must have a physical training or something in hand. They get to play with
Yeah,
hunger. I just think that if you got 3 or 4 cards, you want to keep as much card advantage as you can. Because right now it's just a stat battle at this point.
yeah. Then Akasha will probably do it after you after this one. So you are playing two cards directly after each other as a go-to player. At least I expect that to happen.
So we're starting off with a Chiron, not giving away too much. Now this is where that
Yeah,
after you comes in so beautifully, especially in the tiebreaker here. Okay, we've got the hunger. I thought it would be odd that
I
we
think he
wanted
made a
to
misplay here.
boost that, but
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You wanted to boost that with the Chiron. So if you're knowing for sure that you are the one that with the after you play first the hunger, then the Chiron, boosting up the hunger, getting a 4 for 4 gigantic. Um, Now
yeah.
it's a 5 for 5 duo of the duo, but it could have been higher.
And
If
now
it's a
with
sleep, you're
4 as we're
sad, right?
passing the afternoon. Yep, you go. If that hunger was boosted more,
Yeah,
sequencing maybe there, but either way, they still pull out the win there. Um, okay,
yeah. Luckily for them, would
that
be really
felt like
sad if
a
they
bit of
didn't.
a long. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here.
So let me know which one we can
Uh,
hop into. Let's see. Or maybe we can do table 11 with Macmoosh. The table,
I'll hop on. I
I'm
will
not sure
mosey
what
my way on
happened.
down. Table 11. It's Macmoosh. Okay. I've got the unexpected error. Another player is taking the same action, so that game might be wrapping up.
I think it might be.
Let's find out. Oh, nope. It's let me in. Thinking about letting me in.
What kind of game it is? It's a Sigismar.
All right, there we are. We're catching the tail end of this game here.
So what do
All
you
right.
think? Would the fan can be able to get it here? They have enough mana at the moment still.
We have enough mana. It just depends on what we have in hand here. Because of course we don't have to target anything in reserve. Sigmar has nothing in reserve. We just have to count. However, Sigmar has quite a bit of mana left. 5 mana goes a long way in Ortis. They just have a lot.
Yeah,
Another faction that has a lot of stat efficient. Um, Actually, not stat efficient. Some like above the curve statted out characters. Frog Parents. Frog Parents not necessarily one of them. I mean, you're expecting 6 stats, but it's where those stats are at. As you see the cloth cocoon come down, that's definitely going to help. That gets rid of the Frog Prince, um, which ties up a lane currently. We've got the rare
yeah.
Order's Attorney to come back up at 5. Point in case here. Where now it's like an okay situation for Segasmar, because if you wind up not winning this companion lane, that means you just get to draw a card, which looks like we
Yeah,
currently
exactly.
definitely need.
Yeah, but you want to close out the game at the moment, so hopefully you can at least win one of the two expeditions as Sigismar here.
It just all depends on what Finn has, honestly. It really does. Now we paid a heavy cost putting the Tanuki from the reserve there. So unless something at two costs, and you can put something to sleep, that essentially just means that um, you've got to win the game next turn.
Yeah. Now, I think also
And
the Sigismar could sequence the attorney with the trooper differently. If you place the trooper first on the companion expedition, you know that Tanuki probably will come down on the hero expedition to block it over there. And then you can play the attorney onto the hero
yeah,
expedition, getting over it as well, making sure that you could advance both expeditions. This way,
yep. As the Twinkle Twinkle comes down here, but the game is still over unless I'm missing an ability.
yeah.
Yep. Nope. Game is still over. Sigismar pulls it out with that Orders Trooper being over there on the companion side there.
If they could have something like a bassist, they could just discard a Twinkle Twinkle, play the bassist, and get a 2-0 here and win the game. So it was still possible, even with the amount of mana. Let's see. I need a refresh.
It's taking a minute to get back to the tournament page here. All right. Level one still in progress. Oh, they're about 86%
Let's
done
have a
though.
look.
Table two is where I'm heading to. Adder, if you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Switch over while that's loading. We can get rocking.
And I found the mechanic with I gain one boost for each card in each player's reserve. That's very strong. It got 4 boosts. Probably play it directly at the start of the turn. So Soricro also get the cylinder and the Haven out. Um, I think that's at the moment a little bit more of an advantage. They also got if they do make mana a 1 mana more.
But just again, having that option, that means we're getting stats, one potential stat just to come out of there, and then another just in case of emergency push button. Speaking of the Haven, now we've got both set up on both sides here.
Yeah, we see the Cramps being there. They might destroy or their own permanent or maybe one of their opponents. They go for a Bastion into the reserve. Getting that resupply and one extra boost for the turn.
Hatter, I'm gonna leave you here on your solo for a little bit. I'm gonna go run to the bathroom, hopefully to be back before this
Yeah,
game's
sure.
over.
So the top trace Popiet is getting the Nancy into the reserve. Is playing frozen delivery, getting another card in the reserve, and probably will cast a Nancy soon for 2 mana. At the moment, a 6/6/6. They can even cylinder and Bastionet as well. So they have a lot of stats over here. Probably at least trying to look to close out one of the expeditions over here. And I think they tried, if they go for that play, to close out the companion expeditions because they have some cards in play that, are not really great into the forest. So there's Athena. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain one boost for each card in each player's reserve. That is very nice. They put in a sap sniffer, and they are getting like 9 boosts at the moment. If you control 2 or more landmarks, Athena also loots fleeting from reserve, but they don't have the Anansi effect. So, and at the moment, I think the Nancy, well, it's maybe better to keep in into the reserve, and maybe you try just to win with the sap sniffer of the mechanic with the Bastion.
All right, I have returned. Oh, we got a unique Athena on the board here.
Yes, it was magical. 9 boosts for each card in each player's reserve.
Oh man, a Nazi
Yeah,
on
they,
steroids, huh?
yeah, they go for the mechanic over here and making sure that, well, Soricron needs to play something. Maybe a boosted cramps, destroying your own bastion to make sure that the Foppiet needs to play something at least uh, uh, of stats in the hero expedition. That's something I would go for, I think.
Yeah.
Getting that
We
Anansi
get
out of the reserve this turn, getting it down, make sure that it isn't available next turn.
yeah, we're popping the double haven here. We're about to get something boosted to the nines here in a little bit. It's the Grims that are gonna get the
Yeah,
boost.
probably destroying their own haven, getting a 2/2 more.
Yep. There we go. Standard sequencing
Yeah, I
here
think
from a trace deck.
Yeah, I think you always need to do this right because the Anansi can't stay in the turn for free until next turn. So
Now, this is very tight here. This is where the sequencing matters so much, right? Because you can either try to win this day or realize, hey, let's trade and then set up better for tomorrow. Um, we're going to pop the Keylon counter, make it to where it's tied. However, of course, we've got 2 more mana on
yeah,
Poppyet side there. So really tough. Of course, we got Athena locking down here, so at least we know we're advancing at one spot. But again, so many decisions to make after this day on what we're going to be tossing from our reserve
yeah, exactly.
on the side of Zorkro. Let's call him Zori. Got Sap Sniffer. Man. Coming out to play here. Slapping the counter on the Keylon. Gaining more Keylon counters here. Essentially guaranteeing that we're always just going to be able to exhaust it in order to give a boost. Whereas we've got one time our last activation, at least for the time, unless we play our own saps. Oh my gosh. Sap sniffer. On the side of Zora on the side of Zori here. Man, that word's gonna be the end of me. No.
I
All
think
right,
this
Equinox.
this game. Oh,
No more alliteration cards in sets anymore.
they discard their unique and they keep the elemental because that one is in stats wise countering the Walrus Scout on all stats. So that's great.
Yeah, without the fear of the Anansi there, you kind of can don't have to have, a stat stick answer right away as well too. So again, decided to do the frozen
And
delivery, which we're going to go ahead and pop off here, and it's a Grimm's.
yeah, that's great to drop here.
And it's a
And a
Grimm's. Oh my
Zombies. Wow.
god.
But this is the rare version. It's just got that one stat and
Yeah.
forest extra, and sometimes it does matter. Oh, this is sad.
Oh, they ran out of time.
Oh no.
Uh, so Poppy
Oh, this
H
feels
wins
so
the
bad.
game. Now, always happens with mirrors. It's just that one thing, and that's why some of those cards we call are like mirror breakers. Which again, I said I can't wait for my reveal, so I don't have to keep talking so cryptic about it. But my card is a mirror breaker, which I love because again, I feel like you got to run at least a couple copies of mirror breakers in your decks because again, we don't have a sideboard, so it's not
Yeah.
like you can have these cards on the side that says, "Oh, for this specific matchup, I can play these cards." Right? All, but that is unique to this on TCG. It's the first one I know that you don't get to. Well, I mean, Pokemon, have sideboards as well too. But this game's a bit more interactive than Pokemon. Pokemon, you just gotta sit there and wait till your opponent's done doing their stuff, and then you do your stuff. Okay, we are in the final round of the day. I am hopping on table 5. Hopping on table 5. It looks like we've got. Um, yeah, I don't think we've seen these players on stream, so we're gonna pop it on stream here.
Yes, and we see
I
a
understand
zero
what happened. They
against
ran out of
a
game
Kesha
time.
player.
You have so Julian. What happened was they ran out of time. All right, we're getting loaded up here.
Yeah. Yeah, we see directly coming a unique Spirit Wielder, a 3/3 for 2/2 on stats. Um, from a hand, I gain one boost. At dusk, I have two or more boosts, draw a card, and from reserve, I gain one boost per boosted character you control. So they are drawing a card.
Yep. Essentially being able to trigger itself. Yeah. Yeah, I have an Ozma. I have a unique Ozma for Bravo since that's way two. Of course, it says when played, if you control two or more boosted characters, you draw a card. But it has a when played from
Yeah.
hand ability that gain two boost. So essentially, as long as I can
Wow.
pop Basira, I can play it from hand, give Ozma her own boost, pop Basira, give another character a boost if they don't have one already, and draw my card. So it just opens up so much more
Yeah,
potential of just being able to
it is
get
right.
the effect immediately.
Yeah. I also got a lot of good draw uniques from Bravos. I tried to move away from the landmark condition, but with the new spoilers, I think I'm going back to the landmarks. I think I got a unique picks that's it is like arrow, draw a card, from reserve, draw a card. So it's at least well with some landmarks really good. So we
Yeah.
see here a Blade Dancer into play,
Oh, Rhyme
and
Frost.
this Round
Yeah.
Frost. Cool, it hurts.
I Rhyme Frost into my Aphonus decks. Um, and they have done just that too. Again, just because loving being able to play Aklut, but unless you find like a unique Balasinka that has a similar effect, you just can't really get what you're looking for from Izmir with that. So like Ryan Frost is kind of like that simple way. And then Aphonus, you're playing the spell, so you get the boost, you're exhausting the card, um, and it's just action economy, good action economy going on there. As we got the advance going, the Bravos Blade Dancer is already sitting at 5 in the reserve here. So super statted up three cost out of there. However, threes are very expensive here when you've only got 5 mana to kind of play with in the day. So you're almost
Yeah.
conceding, saying hopefully you don't have an answer if you play that early on, especially with only being able to have 2 mana left over after the fact.
Yeah, but you got, of course, a lot of great 2 mana cost cards from hand, so you can play one of those from hand and then choose the Spirit Wielder or the Blade Dance, depending on what the casual player is doing. And we see here just the Blade Dancer being played for a 6/6/6, probably winning you that side anyway now.
Yep.
The Rhyme Falls will
So go
probably
ahead.
not be played here.
Yeah, especially because like something that's triggering and what I think is a good play with Basira is that kind of chicken of I've played this character and I have not triggered my boost effect for the turn, which could signal there's
Yeah.
something else coming, which now makes you feel like, okay, should I save playing something or not? As we see the off you go to getting rid of that Blade Dancer and this unique Orders Trooper, allowing Akesha to put an Isatok into reserve and pick up that other card from hand. And immediately spending the Isatok to draw a card.
That is great value. I think here as well, if the Bazir player just put in the Syringar at first, the off you go would probably not be that great to play, but they were probably afraid for
Yeah.
some exhaust or sabotage mechanic.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you know easily the Tooth Fairy exists in pretty much every Izmir deck, and that would just absolutely ruin anything you have. So unfortunately, it was just
Yeah.
a tough situation to be in.
Or if you get your Jins early enough for the Bazira player is in big advantage over here.
Right, yeah. Um, no, the after use in effect here. Well, we use the after you. Guard comes out. I don't. And I don't remember the stats on that Isatok either. Yeah, we just play the Isatok for the turn and be done.
I mean, so the casual player is taking some time to think about their play. They got all mana still left. They are going for an off you go, getting the Syringar and netting them a card,
Trying to
giving
avoid
them
letting
more
them draw a
options.
card. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they draw anyway at the moment because it was fleeting.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Yeah, that's why I think they're contemplating playing the off you go. That means that
Yeah.
Basira is going to be able to draw a card.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now we know that the spirit wielder is out of play here. We're dropped down to 2 mana here. And no other
Yeah,
abilities to
probably the
say this
order
is
really great. Getting something in reserve, getting that off you go back, recycling it once more. The Bazira player don't have any activators at the moment for some of them boosts. Yeah, and then off you go
that's the
will probably play
Trailblazer.
it on the
Um,
Trailblazer. Yeah.
yep. Yep. Get our boost going there. Wrapped up the lane 1-0, blowing through those card advantage that Basira was having there.
Yeah. So at the moment, we're also getting in territory where the Spirit Wielder can get boosts from boosted characters. So if they play out like the red, boost it, and then play the Wielder, it can actually get another card draw off at the end of the turn. So I think the occasion might use the Rhine Frost here to get it exhausted.
Hmm. Very tight game here. Yep, gonna go ahead and bust the Rhyme Frost out. Like you just said, it's off that Spirit Wielder. Comes to play. Got a magical training as a kind of a soft pass to go here. Do we not have characters in hand? I'm thinking. Or are we trying to hope to wait and see which side we need to play to?
Exactly. Yeah, Rapid is coming out. I think they will get the boost over here to the Tiny Chain.
Yep. Get that effect to be triggered off.
They don't use the zero power, so I'm thinking they have something like a Chiron to make sure that they can spend the boost anywhere they need to. And they're hoping,
Right.
I think, to get a 2-0 over here, the zero player.
I don't think Akesha has a character in hand. Or if it does, one that's not going to tilt any of the expeditions in their favor. So we might
Yeah,
just see playing magical training for 3, which feels like terrible. I mean, it is terrible return on investment, but at least maybe be able to set up and hope you can survive. Because I mean, the 2-0 this turn is not necessarily backbreaking. You'll just have a one zone. You're behind only one zone on the hero expedition, and it could help you set
yeah,
up for a better turn. But it feels bad because we exhausted that spirit wielder, and then we weren't able to capitalize anything. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Just going to play the magical training, draw a card, and get ready for the next day.
yeah. I think that was their game plan. I think the zero player is not just passing, not committing. Or maybe they have an Haven. That's great over here to have that card in. But if they
Right?
don't,
You get
then they probably pass.
free landmark. Yeah, any landmark you want to play right now would be free.
Yeah, they are thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know what
Maybe if
we're
they
thinking
got,
about here.
they can also have a Vanguard. Maybe to think if they want to play the Vanguard, get the red. Um, get off that fleeting, boost it up, play the Bazira, and you get a 2 mana for next time from reserve. That could be also the play they're looking at, or something like a
Yeah, that
helping
could
hand.
definitely, yeah, that could be the play. And like I said, their mana, their reserve wouldn't overflow, because the gen's going straight to the mana, and then these other two fleeting characters. Yeah, we just decide to pass though.
Yeah, he passed. They are also ramping, so that's great. They're also moving on great terrains for the mighty gens.
Gotcha, that was a fast resource. Enough we didn't see. Basira is also a resource in their mana as well. We say our 3 cards in hand are going to be enough.
And
Immediately
there's the
burning
outlook.
that after you. I don't know if I would have taken. I guess he wanted to make sure that there's not an effect that it's going to allow Kesha to pick up the off you go play it, but um,
Yeah,
I don't know about being that target.
yeah. Yeah, finally the Spirit Wheeler comes in, giving a 1 boost from the Aklut because it's boosted, and then the Bazooka getting the second boost to get at the draw a card. But with five
Yeah,
mana, this probably will not, uh, well, be a 2-0 at the moment.
we we play a character here. We pop a duel of grit and just force Akesha to start blowing through those resources they have to work oh so hard to gain here. Unless there's like a Bravos Tracer or something that's statted to the moon, it's gonna
Yeah.
force Akesha to uh, play out more
Somehow
cards than
I
they want to and have to make some tough decisions into reserve.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow I think as the zero player, you need to play something in the companion expedition. Because if you got the one mana beauty sleep on the Aklut, you're going down 1-0 probably, and that hurts a lot. So I think you want to play something in companion expedition, or well, use that mana eruption.
Yeah, popping the eruption, taking that free mana that we just ramped from the previous turn,
Yeah,
go ahead and popping that, and probably popping the Hathor so they don't have a reserve ability available for the next turn.
there's
Got
indeed
there's
the
the
beauty
beauty sleep
sleep
there.
that
Exactly what we talked about.
that
Yep, going 1-1 for the day.
I
That's a
think
bad
for both
place
players
to
this
be.
is the best.
Definitely depend on what we draw here. Um, is Basira player one? Yeah. Yeah, we slapped that Aklut down. We wrapped down the
Yeah.
beauty sleep and the Yaga and just hope we didn't draw answers from hand for it. Granted that we've already got the Spirit Wielder because it got slept last hand. Was desperation that we had to do it, or if we had a play in hand to be able to take care of it for the next turn. Because sleep is one of those weird mechanics that is just like, yeah, you can get the temporary benefit, but if you don't have a
Hmm.
long-term response afterwards, you just kind of shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. I do not think the Akasha play can get over it, right. Even if they well no.
Ooh, that's not the rare one. I thought he was about to just get boosted to the nines there for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
However, this Arcolano milk, whatever you call it, coming out lets me, I guess, signals to me that we have multiple characters in hand here.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
And
like we got a
Fitz,
GG's coming out from Fitz here.
yeah.
I'm not exactly what's being said, but we may not just have the
He is
answers in
playing.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep, had to
He
force the
draw
Blizzard
badly,
play. Gotcha.
but they're still progressing right on their expedition at the moment as it is. So
Yeah. Talking about something with the 2-0 maybe. There's a unique
oh, that's
Trailblazer.
great.
Again, a boost per fleeting character you control. Holy cow. My station moves forward. You may have target character other than me lose fleeting. And GGs have been called. And they're just wrapping that formality up. We'll hang around, and that will be it for the day here. I gotta get running. I gotta go pick up my kids from school. So I can't hop into another table.
Yeah.
Go pick them up. But All around good games today. Saw a ton of strats. And then we saw a, I don't know if you
Yeah.
caught stream earlier, Hatter, but we had a game where one Gorang player had like 21 cards in hand, and the other one had like nine. It was absurd.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd to see that many cards in play. um,
Those people I don't want to
so
run
yeah.
into ever.
And it wasn't Room Folk. Room Folk was neither one of those players. He played that awesome War Root deck caught earlier. So yeah, but that will do it up at least for the cast here for AWOL here. Just a reminder, just want to do a few shout outs. If you are interested, you're watching also interested in playing, maybe you don't have a locals. All this event is free to sign up for. You just have to have a deck to play with. Even if you don't own cards to have your own custom deck, you're also more than welcome to use the starter decks that are available in the mod itself. So really, if you just want to play, all you have to do is sign up and play. The European one, I think they have maxed out like seems like for like the past 6 weeks or sometime like that. So definitely, if you think you want to play, go ahead and sign up as soon as those links are posted in the AWOL Discord. But this is just a great opportunity for you to get games in, get practice in, be alerted because everybody who goes 5-1 or better, or X-1 or better in these get invited to the end of season invitational, which Hatter, I'm not sure if you have seen or not, but there is some Skybound Odyssey product that's on the line for the end of season invitational this year or this season.
That's great. I think that's perfect to start in the next season, right?
Yeah. So yeah. So if you can't, for whatever reason, may not be able to order boxes from your LGSs or from some other vendor, come play in some AWOL. Get yourself an invitational, an invite sometime during the last few weeks that we have here, and see if you can earn yourself some product here. Again, even that invitational is free. You just have to earn your invite through playing in these weekly events. What you gotta do is earn the invite, and you've earned your right to go in and play in those tournaments there. So um, Ada, anything you want to say? Any shout outs you got? Any socials? Anything you wanna push off here?
Time was my debut on the AWOL streaming over here. So thank you again. Now also for Cole and the team of Simon and all the others as well. Hopefully to see you soon again. In the meanwhile, focus on the reveals and well, have a next good reveal season, right?
Yes. Yes, it is. So please, today officially started content creator reveals. Of course, Equinox have already revealed some of their own cards, but today starts the content creator reveals, and that goes on for like a few weeks. So we're going to be seeing tons of cards being revealed for the set before they're eventually be all dropped on BGA by the end of, I think by the end of this month, maybe we'll see. I know usually it's like the weekend before the set comes out, like that pre-release weekend, or maybe the week before that. It's when they usually like reveal all the cards. But that was past president. I don't know if that's the case now, but I do know that that's how they have done it in the past as well too. So
I
please
think
give the
on
content
over two
creators
two weeks.
a shout out on the links. Even if you do see the cards, I know you guys are going to be excited. 2 weeks? Okay. Even if you
Yeah,
are excited,
22.
try to avoid screen capping it. Just send the link to people or show them towards the link so that they can work on these videos. Equinox doesn't have to do this thing where they share the cards with the community to reveal. So just be helpful to those content creators who have put in the effort and kept their mouths closed until the right time in order to get these reveals, have them exciting or be available for you, just to kind of help them out.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I will just log us off here. Again, if you guys want to play, there is a America's friendly time zone AWOL League on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. I am going off of Central Standard Time. Again, it's free. You just sign up if you want to play, and then you just use your decks and you just go from there. So hopefully all of you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. My European time zone folks, I'm sure it's evening time over there. For us here in the States, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So whatever it is, have a good night and a good day, and we will catch you